Hey loves, it's your girl MariahSincere, and I'm an American woman who has been traveling and living abroad all around Latin America. And on this channel, we talk about the realities of relocation, cultural assimilation, and just traveling in general. So if that's your vibe, you're in the right place. Y'all, I am overwhelmed. I did not realize just how much support I have in the travel space. I think at first I was more so just kind of looking at, because I'll be honest, like excuse me, y'all, on a lot of my lives, people kind of watch from the bushes. But then when I really think about it, I do have a lot of support in the chat. And watching Razor Rays, I'm going to review Razor Rays live tonight. Right. And I saw what happened in terms of Don P solo. So I'm going to review that part. But then, yes, I did see the interaction between Casanova and Homie's Hub. And honestly and truly, I didn't know till somebody put me on, because when I originally watched the Razor Rays interview with Don P Sounds, as soon as Homie's Hub came on, I clicked off, right? Because honestly and truly, I really don't care what he has to say. And yesterday, when he was talking about my daughter has colonizer blood, and he made some very racist comments on his show. When somebody talks about your child, it's like, especially when a grown man talks about your child and they continue to bring up your child, like I saw blood. So honestly and truly, I was skeptical about coming on tonight, because I don't like thinking evil thoughts. And it's like when it comes to my daughter, it's again a grown man steady talking about bringing up my child and bringing up the situation between me and my daughter's dad, which there is no situation, but just my daughter. We all get sensitive about our children. At first, I wasn't even gonna come on tonight. I was gonna give myself like a couple of days to cool off, because again, I don't like thinking just very, very violent thoughts towards people. And that was the headspace that I was in. And what was kind of bothering me, I even thought about this today. I'm like, nobody really, y'all gotta understand, I'm one of the very few females in this space, and I'm definitely the only female in this space that thinks the way I do. And what I mean by that is, like, there's not too much about me that it's like I try to be very balanced, but at the same time, I always try to come from a woman's perspective. Like, there's nothing about me that really just kind of fits in with a lot of the men. But at the same time, I'm not intentionally trying to offend y'all in this space, but I also try to maintain my womanhood and stay true to that, and not feel like I have to go along with things that y'all say, or agree to certain things just to kind of fit in and keep the viewership. So because of that, a lot of people have had a lot of opinions about me, which is fine. I can take it. It's just when somebody keeps attacking your child and saying things about your child. A video where he did talking about me, people were coming, most of the comments, the people were coming to my defense or telling him he would, he just really should quit talking about me, like this getting lame. So with that black on you, you definitely look like a 90s R&B singer. Thank you. Yeah, so I just didn't realize, I think without a rah-rah, you think that everybody just kind of hates you, but that's not the truth. Like, I'm starting to see it's a lot of support for me. So I really appreciate that. CC, thank you so much. I'm going to cover it. Like, I'm going to review to it. I'm going to review all of that on this live. Thank you so much for just as a man standing on something, saying something to him, because again, people have continued to act like this has been a equal back and forth, when this man started in on me. I didn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, honestly and truly, he started in on me from the very beginning. And I've done nothing but defend myself, honestly and truly. This man started it on me. He's continued. I've had to block him from 2 Instagram sites because he continued from 2 Instagram accounts because he was harassing me behind the scenes. And then on top of that, just on all my other social media, he'll come on there and just constantly stalk me, constantly you know what I'm saying, record my TikToks and things like that. So people were trying to act like it was just a two-sided thing where it's like, oh, they're both, and it's like, no, I've done nothing but defend myself against somebody who genuinely is obsessed with me. When the homies hub is not talking about me, I don't care about anything he's doing. I don't follow him on Instagram. I don't know his TikTok account. I couldn't even tell you. Even with other people that I've gotten to in this space, all the stuff that I show y'all, I don't go digging for that stuff on them. It's stuff that people like, they notice me into it and they send me. But I never intentionally go dig stuff up on people. And again, it's been a response to the things that they have done or said about me when I wasn't even bothering them. The only person who I've said negative things about and they didn't start in on me first was Future. But I mean, it's quite obvious, like why, you know? So, and again, I can defend myself, but it's just the reality of the matter that a lot of this drama I've been brought into. Thank you, SW Ola. Thank you. I appreciate you. Yeah, so everybody salute to the chat. Without further ado, I'm going to react to the live. Now, what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to just skip to the part where Razor Rays is interviewing Dom P Sounds. Then I believe Homies Hub starts the panel off on Razor Ray. I'm not even going to review that part of what they were saying. I'm going to go ahead and get into when they start talking about me and I'm going to react to it. So bear with me here. Now, for those of y'all who don't know, a man named Don P Sounds, who he has more, I don't believe he's on YouTube. He has some traction on TikTok, and he said that he works in the music industry. So he said he's been working in the music industry for a couple decades, and he's a businessman. So for those of y'all who don't know, he got denied entry into Colombia. I believe it was over this past weekend because he was advertising that he was having parties in Colombia. And not just that, in his bio, he explicitly stated that he was a passport bro. Now, what I will say is I don't want to come at this from a perspective of just passport bros, because really, yes, passport bros and that terminology and these parties, that's going to make you hot. But really, this is something that all expats, nomads, or people who travel need to be aware of. A country, if they see that you are coming into their country and you're making money, it doesn't matter if you collected the funds via a website or outside of the country, or if you're collecting the money within a country's borders. If you're conducting activities if you're conducting activities wherein you collect money, doesn't matter where you are internationally, and those activities are going to be facilitated within Colombia's borders, you best believe that it could put you on the radar of immigration. Now, the whole passport bro and sex tourism thing, of course, that's going to put you higher on their radar. But conducting any type of business on a tourist visa is grounds to get your visa denied. So you have to be, you either have to not do it or be very careful about the way that you go about it. So I don't want to just make this be a pile-on of like passport bros and the activities that they do and their reputation. Like really, this should serve as a warning to anybody in the travel space, whether you're conducting business that's related to sexual tourism or not. And that's just the reality of the matter. I'm not going to too much go in on him because honestly and truly, he was very respectful. And thank you so much, Tiny Sage. We walk with you, Mariah. Rain, sleet, or snow. Word on the street on the homies hub is what? I'm not pregnant, y'all. I don't intend on having, that's what I'm saying. Continue lies. I don't intend on having any more children. I'm not pregnant. These dudes don't don't get it. They're about to be on the wrong side of history, and none of them got rich doing what they're doing. Shaking my head. No facts. No facts. What's up? What's up? Recording at all times. And that's one critique that I'm gonna have for the brother Don P. Sounds. I like how he conducted himself in this interview, but Passport Bros term as a terminology, putting it in my bio, that's not a hill that I would choose to lay down on. If y'all are picking up what I'm putting down, it's just not. It's just not. So
check my phone. I was very, and what I say, and it was like, oh, you're famous, so we're gonna make.
Hold on, let's see. I'm going.
You've been treated great there.
You know, you said some Mr. FICO says, all right.
Just what I also need y'all to know, sex tourism and Passport Bros is a very hot issue for the mayor in Medellin right now, FICO. So anytime, it's like a slam dunk. Anytime somebody with like even a relatively small visibility on social media gets stopped by immigration and gets admitted, it's gonna get to him, especially if it's some passport stuff. And he is going to use that as an opportunity to gain some good publicity for himself. And y'all have to understand that this is what the locals want. This is what they want to see. So they're not just going to let you, especially if you have a name out here, they're not just going to let you go and cover your face and not put you on blast. No, you're getting put on blast. It just is what it is. So y'all have to be aware. I'm not going to go on his live, and I don't care what he's saying about me on his live, to be honest. Again, this is all rooted in jealousy and misogyny. So I don't care. I'm going to react to what happened, the situation between him and Casanova. But he can say what he want to say over there. I don't care to go on his channel, to be honest. The obsession is real over on that side. Yeah. Again, and I'm going to continue to reiterate, everything has been in defense of this man continuing to attack me as a parent, attack me as a mother, attack how I conduct myself in my personal relationships. And it's been from day one, it's been from day one. I never came for him first. That Passport Bro jacket is not a brand I want to wear. Yeah, it's too tarnished. And this is not my opinion. I'm not coming on here trying to give y'all my opinion or shit on the Passport Bros. It's above me now. Do y'all understand? It's been way above me. And so I've been trying to explain to y'all, but people don't want to listen. They just hard-headed and they be like, oh, we don't need a woman telling us. Okay, it's going to be to your detriment every single time. I'm trying to tell y'all that in Colombia, they have documentaries about y'all in Spanish. I'm trying to tell y'all what is in the news articles. I'm trying to tell y'all what's on the blogs. I'm trying to tell y'all the conversations that are being had in Spanish that a lot of y'all, and amongst them that a lot of y'all are not privy to. There's no reviving that label. And if it was a possibility, it would take 10 years of good behavior and 10 years of no bad press. Do y'all honestly think y'all can go that long? Probably not.
Flower Fair, there are already those who want to come to Medellin with other intentions. We're not going to let them in here. As part of an investigation into alleged behavior associated with sexual exploitation, all right, judicial police work was advanced in elements were compiled that allowed Migration Colombia to request the inadmissibility of American citizen Donald Johnson. Okay, so all right. So that is the mayor right there. Mayor, the words are kind of small, but yes, that is the mayor FICO right there. He said, look, he didn't let him in. I know Don P is kind of pissed. I gotta ask Don P, did he have to pay for his flight back on.
Been denied entry. So I was very surprised by this. And I think this comes at a time where, the politics are changing in Medellin. And when politics change, they try to make a statement. And I can respect what the mayor said, and I can respect what the politicians there say. But I just respectfully disagree. I put a lot of money into Medellin. We talk about hundreds of thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands.
And here's what I would like for y'all to understand. These countries don't give a fuck. It's always somebody willing to come and spend money. It is. And people come to Colombia for all kind of tourism, and they spend more money. I'm just being out, for example, y'all got to think about it. A woman coming to Colombia to get surgery, she gonna spend a lot. There's women coming to Colombia, they dropping 10K on the surgery, and they dropping another like 2K to be in a recovery house. And then on top of that, meals and everything. And it's not just women, it's men that's coming to Colombia doing dental tourism, cosmetic tourism. So there are people that come to Colombia and they drop a bigger bag in Colombia than a lot of these men that are coming there. The majority of these men that are coming there. Is it beneficial? Is the money from the passport bros beneficial? Does it circulate in the economy? Yes. But the statement that they're trying to make to y'all is that they're willing to let that go. They do not care. And this is what I'm trying to explain to y'all. They don't like that mentality. They don't like that every time they're trying to set boundaries, y'all keep bringing up their money. It's your money or what you're spending in the country. They don't like it. They hate it. It's a bad look. So I'm trying to, it don't matter if you came to Colombia and you spent, $200,000 over the totality of you coming there. What they're telling you is that they're willing to reject it because they want to take they want to repair the image of their country. And y'all just have to accept that. And here's the thing. A lot of the times when y'all are paying money, they're also giving you a service. So it's transactional in most cases. So it's not like most of the time, it's not like y'all just giving y'all money away. Now he's saying how he's helped people and he's given families money and done this and that, but you have to understand in terms of like just coming and spend, most people aren't doing that. They're just coming and spending their money within the country for services rendered. It's a transaction. You're not doing them a favor. So y'all have to understand that. Yes, man, it doesn't matter. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to explain to y'all. Y'all keep on talking about what's fair, what's not fair, all of that, which I guess ain't nothing wrong with that. But you have to understand, people in Medellin are nice to everybody. They're just nice people. They're just nice. So you can't think that this is garnering you any type of clout or pull with the community because it's not. Facts, it costs a bag for a good set of porcelain veneers. Yeah, people are going to Colombia to get it done.
Business with me and otherwise. So I've gotten my DMs have actually blown up a lot.
Right, because of it. Hit the like button, guys. Follow the brother on TikTok. We're gonna drop his TikTok link. Maj, drop his TikTok. Say your TikTok again.
It's at Don P Sounds Off. At Don P Sounds Off.
Okay, at Don P Sounds Off. Go ahead, Maj. Drop his TikTok, guys. Yes, man. So when you try to get in, now, did you have any inkling that you had any
I'm sorry, y'all. Okay. I'm sorry. Let me pull it back up. So Razor Rays was saying how, he was asking Don P, did you have any ops before you went to Colombia that you knew about? And the point that I was making before my internet started tripping is that it don't matter if you have ops. Migration Colombia is watching social media. Okay? They watch the social media. Nobody has to tell on you. They know who is who. Do y'all know that when I'm here in Dominican Republic, I've been recognized several times by locals, and they be like, "Oh, you have a are you on TikTok? Are you the girl on TikTok?" They'll show me that they watching my videos, and these are Dominican locals. And y'all have to understand, on a lot of these social media sites, it's automatically translating it into their language. Even if you look on the comments, the people are saying it. I remember when Chill Capo got put out of Colombia, they was like saying all type of racial slurs to him and very much making it about his race and saying, oh, it's always the same people. And then y'all will go back and argue with them and be like, well, what about the white men? Here's the thing. The Colombians are calling the white men PDF files. So it's not like they're not saying anything about the white man either, but they also have this, and again, a white man was falsely accused of touching his own kid. And even Rob from Remote Living Gringo he was with his son, and somebody came and bothered him and thought he was doing something to his son, and he was a white man. But also at the same time, Black passport bros have their own set of stereotypes. And I would be lying if I said there is not a racial element to it, because it is. And people get mad when I say that. It's not my personal opinion. It's not my personal opinion. You never talk about anybody's kid. That's Elaine. I don't understand why these people online. No. They do that because they think they do that because it's the internet and people get very comfortable on the internet, and that just is what it is. He got caught sex tourist. Who? The dude that they're talking? He gonna claim in this interview that he wasn't going there for sexual tourism. But at the same time, he has passport bro in his bio, and then he was throwing a party. And then the dudes are saying that in his promo videos, it was known pros in there. So I don't know how much I can believe that. And at the end of the day, you're not going to get immigration to believe that, because really it doesn't matter what I think. The walking slab of pork rind is lying his ass off. Hell, even Stevie Wonder can see you through this nonsense. Who are you talking about? Are you talking about this man? If police take your picture is going to Homeland Security. That's the question. I wonder if they searched him when he got to the United States, because when shout out to Chill Capo, when he landed on US soil, they took his device and Homeland Security went through his phone. It not be black or white. It's about cleaning this space up. They scared of you. Well, they just gonna have to be scared. And here's the thing. It's not just me saying the stuff that I'm saying. I just give my opinion on the news. There are other men who want to clean it up too. There are other men that don't want to walk around with these stigmas and stereotypes on it. If I'm Colombia, I'm running AI to see who is a passport bro and putting pictures inside of border security to tag people. Yes, they know. They know. And that's why when people are like coming at people like me and saying, oh, you're creating a dangerous narrative around Black men, I'm just commenting on what they already know, what they're reporting on. I'm commenting after the fact on what's going on. If I completely fade away from the travel space, they're still going to continue to behave the way they're behaving with y'all. The jig is up. Okay, you talking about Don P. Never me. Okay, so you're saying he was lying. Well, that's why Casanova came up there and said what he said, because it wasn't adding up. And that's not to talk bad about Don P. He seems like a cool, very humble dude. And I'm not talking bad about him. I told y'all before, I don't care if y'all go do pay for play. I haven't seen any evidence of him just really cutting up or disrespecting the country or anything like that. But again, it's not my opinion. If Colombia is saying they don't want a certain type of tourism, then it is what it is. Even if you're keeping it on the lower, keeping it respectful.
Colombia, right?
Mhm.
Did you have any warnings from or any inklings that you would get targeted somehow, some way?
I had an inkling based upon my competitors. I have competitors there in Medellin and competitors outside of Medellin that do the exact same thing that I do in terms of having parties, throwing trips. And I've been threatened by them. And I've been,
Now,
let's see, I've been threatened by them.
if you're a competitor and you're throwing the same type of parties, it's not wise to threaten your competition because they can just threaten you. Especially if you're not doing it on the correct type of visa. That makes no sense. I'm not saying he's lying. I'm saying that's stupid.
Talk bad about them and kind of followed around by them in an attempt to get me out of the market, because what I do is an amazing thing, you know, and I do it all over the world. And bear in mind now, the trips don't stop, you know. We'll adjust and be more sensitive to everybody's culture so that we won't have what we had happen in Medellin happen anybody else, anywhere else. But you know, I'm actually running multiple trips right now, and I didn't set up this company for me just to be there every time. I set it up kind of in a franchise way where no matter where cats are going, whether they're going to the east or to the west or to the south, they have a team there that can greet them, take care of them so they won't get taken advantage of, meet them at the airport, sign in their hand with your name.
But get taken advantage of by who? And this is what I'm saying, Don P, really, you came on here and played this entire lie. You came on here and played this entire lie. You did. And it's not to attack him. I respect the hustle. I respect anybody trying to get their money. It's actually a very good business idea. And honestly and truly, why don't you venture into doing like co-ed group trips? I have a friend that has a company in Medellin, a young black man too. That's how y'all be trying to make it seem like I hate the brothers. I repost this.
Over the last 3 years that I've run this company, it's been very positive. We haven't had any guys get into any serious trouble. We haven't had any of the incidents that you might see in other places happen to any guys.
I can believe that.
And I've had a lot of repeat business. And guys have done really well. They've appreciated it.
You know who does stuff similar? I think Lord Williamson. He does kind of like the same thing. Okay, y'all make sure that y'all hit the like button.
Okay. Hit the like button. All 290 people in the building watching Razor Rays with Don P sounds off. Follow his TikTok. Now, when you got to the airport, how did they even find out it was you? Now, they said you got flagged, right? So did they stop you randomly inside the airport?
No, they didn't stop me randomly. So when I came up to come through the line in Medellin at immigration, I was told that it was a flag on my passport, and they told me to go have a seat down in the chairs to the left. And when they told me that it was a flag on my passport, I knew I was cooked. I knew it.
Damn.
I was like, maybe it's a 10% chance that I get in, but I knew with Flower Festival being there, and when I saw
that's another thing that I wanted to say. I don't know if I said it last time I talked about this. Y'all got to understand, around Flower Festival, they don't play. They're not letting you ain't getting through with any type of bullshit during Flower Festival. And it was like this last year too. So he's saying it was like, because here's the thing, the narrative has been, if you get up to the front, just make sure that you answer the questions correctly, right? And I mean, I think that's true for most travelers, But y'all have to understand that a lot of the times, it don't matter if you answer. It's not gonna matter. There's no correct way to answer the questions when they put a flag on your passport. They're not letting you in. So that's what I'm saying. A lot of y'all think it's like random, but a lot of these dudes be, and sometimes it is because the immigration officer got suspicious. But then a lot of time they already know y'all name. They already know who y'all are. Fez was watching him. Yes. They already know. They already know what time it is. And I wonder how they got his full name in his passport, because he don't have all. I guess maybe they use the facial scanning. They can use the facial scanning to match it up, match up your passport. They don't have to have your full government name. Y'all, this technology is something else. This technology is something else.
Intense amount of migration officers and police officers of all kinds. They are just supporting the migration officers. I said, I'm cooked. I'm absolutely cooked. And I was like, I can accept that because I've done nothing wrong, but I can understand if people don't like the way that I market and present my business. I can respect that from anybody, especially from a culture that I really enjoy and love. But what happened was she flagged me. I went and sat down. I was there about 10 minutes and she said the manager was going to call me. The manager looked at my passport, pulled it up. He called me back. I went back to a back room behind the immigration desks, like kiosks. And I was back there and it was already guys back there. One guy in particular, he had brought a gift for his friend. They've been together for 2 years. Mm-hmm. And he was denied entry because of that. I believe.
What kind of gift?
It was like something from Victoria's Secrets, I believe.
Lingerie, panties.
I couldn't tell because he just told me it was
Victoria's Secret. It was probably lingerie. Y'all can't. I guess I'm saying nothing sex related when y'all going through immigration. Because again, the dude that brought something for his girlfriend, that's not a sex tourist. That's somebody visiting their girlfriend, right? So it's a lot of people that don't got shit to do with this passport bro stuff or nothing to do with sex tourism that's being pulled into this.
a gift for his girlfriend. And they also checked his phone and they found a message from a year ago where him and his girl have been having some spicy conversations. But like, that's his girlfriend. Like, he goes back and forth to visit her. And she's able to travel too. And then another guy that was there had a visa. He had a visa. And he had 16 days left on his visa. So he wanted to use that time for Flower Festival. And he got denied entry as well. And it was several other guys. It wasn't just me. It was a lot of people.
Y'all, they not playing about that overstay over there. Gone are the days. And, you know, I'm pretty sure they let some people, but again, they're trying to make examples. So they don't want y'all to possibly overstay. Another thing they're, you know, stopping too is you paying the overstay fee on your way out. They want to go ahead and legally deport you. There have been people I've seen in the expat group who was leaving, had a flight book, and was like, I've overstayed. I'm just going to pay the overstay fee. And they were like, no. Even though they're leaving, they have a flight schedule, made them miss their schedule and made them go through the deportation process.
But they told me, you're famous. And so we're gonna use you. So that's how the whole situation kind of popped off. It was like they had a lot of people to choose from. And then when they ran everybody's stuff,
easy win,
and they ran my name and they saw my social media come up, it was like, oh, you're famous.
Easy
so we're going to make you more famous. And you know what? I was treated well by the immigration officers,
They
you know,
cool.
by the police, the immigration officers. I understand they was just doing their job. So I wasn't tripping on that. My main thing was I was concerned about my guys that were coming. But like I said, I have a strong team and the guys are.
So I'm going to skip to the part where Casanova comes on. Shout out to CC.
They have every reason to say it. And I think that check out the.
A lot of people think YouTube is like the king of it.
Establishments. And as a place that when I was going through a tough time after my divorce, I look at Colombia's pros. They're saying that, right? Whereas I might go.
Every female in the videos is Paisa pros, my nigga. Like, yo, you can't ignore that part. I'm not saying you don't got the doctors. I'm not saying you don't got the lawyers. I'm not saying you don't know the high-end females. I'm saying the videos only show the pros. Now, here's the problem with that. The people, the locals, they know that. So if they looking on your actual IG or if they looking on your YouTube and they seeing all your parties that you're promoting all got pros in it, the video clips that you're showing, I mean, it's just making it think that that's what it is that you're promoting. That's number one.
What's up, Uncle Rico? I'm so sorry. I seen your text. I'm sorry I did not text back. I needed a day to like rest. I just wanted to rest today. So I wouldn't text nobody back. I've been running. I needed a day to rest. And I didn't go to bed last night till like 3 a.m. That really almost 4. So I'll text you back. This clown is a textbook sex tourist and he lied all through the interview. Yeah, he lied. I mean, I think he mixed in some truths with some lies, you know. Again, I mean, he was a cool person. He took everything to the chin, but at the same time, that's why CC had to come on here and check him and be like, sir, you know, you can't come on here and bullshit us.
Number two, if you're not paying taxes to the Colombians,
let me respond to that.
Yeah, go ahead, gang. Go ahead. Absolutely.
I grew up poor without nothing. I didn't get a bed till I was 10 years old.
Okay, y'all, when you get into this, it was kind of like manipulation. You was trying to be manipulative, Don P. Because Casanova was not saying you was wrong for having pros in the video or you shouldn't have been associated with them. He was saying immigration knew what time it was and everybody else know what time it is because you got pros in the video. That's what he's trying to say. He's not saying it was nothing wrong. He just saying everybody knew what time it was. So you try to make it about like, oh, you know, I just hang out with people regardless of what they do for a living. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about you being denied entry to the country on the basis of sex tourism. And it looking like a duck, walking like a duck, and quacking like a duck. That's all.
Never looked at people for what they do and thought that's who they were. If I tell people all the time, there's 2 types of people in the world. There's good people, there's bad people.
I know you.
So if they were pros, Jesus hung out with pros. He hung out with pros all the time. And he was asked about it too. He did a lot for them, honestly. So I understand what you're saying. I respect it. I respect what everybody is saying. But for me, there's a lot of women who are out here saying that they're dating, but they're really pros. They're saying that they're dating. So if I take a picture with a woman, let's say in Miami, right, who I say I'm dating, and she's really a pro, but I meet her at an event and she's faking like she's dating, but it's really a pro and she's just doing it in a different way. It was like, love, you know, things have been hard this month. I don't have the rest of my rent. Can you send me $1,000? Can you send me 500? That's a pro. It's just being sold in a different way. I can respect somebody that says, this is who I am. This is what
she's sleeping with you, right? But here's the thing. Sir. That wasn't the point. And yeah, it is going to be a difference between you taking pictures with regular girls and known pros. They be knowing who the pros are. They be seeing their pictures on them cameras and they see the way they promote themselves. So yeah, it actually does matter how the girl promotes how she does her work. It really does. So what Casanova is saying, and also how she look. If she look like a Barbie in Colombia, people are gonna assume she's a pro. So yeah, that's very relevant in terms of whether or not you're gonna get admitted to the country. All that extra stuff don't matter. Brooklyn, love you, Mariah. Thank you. Yeah, Rico, you tired of his shit. I'll let you up if you want to come up. I don't know what you're doing. I'll let you up if you want to come up. But you know what I'm saying? You gotta make your points, be concise. But if you want to come up and give your opinion,
I do.
Come on.
I can respect that. People that I don't have respect for in this life are the people that pretend that they're one thing and they're really something else. And I think that a lot of people in all walks of life do that. So, I get it. I understand. I understand why people feel that way, and I respect their opinion.
Yeah, man, it's super important to understand that when you're dealing with another country, and this is something that they were kind of like...
You manipulative. You are a manipulative person. Because it wasn't about whether or not you hang out with the prostitutes. Nobody actually cares if you hanging out with prostitutes. This was migration understood what they was doing. They pull your card. You're trying to act like you for chat. Chat, let me know. Can y'all hear me? Yes or no?
Entry due to low IQ behaviors. All right. You cannot dirty their country. Embarrass their woman. This was never a problem until ninjas arrived in the masses. Well, let me let you into this. 49, so that's $150, $170, courtesy of Evistamanus. Do you consider that you?
That's Evenson Simonis, okay?
I'm pronouncing it even
or Saint right. Simonis. Either way, just Sakpasenek Bam. That's the Haitian creation right there.
Yeah, go ahead and answer the big super chat. Go ahead.
Is it okay now?
I agree with part of it, but I think that when you go to another person's country and you have access to everything in their country, it doesn't matter, right? I think that there's always going to be a stigma tied to an outsider. It has been since the beginning of the time.
Yes, there are stigmas tied to outsiders. I hope y'all can hear me well, because y'all haven't said anything. Yes, there are always going to be stigmas tied to outsiders. But the reality of the matter is this. A lot of the stigma in this case is very much warranted. It's not like it's just stigma that came from nowhere. See, it's one thing if people have a misconception about you and you didn't do anything, right? Or there wasn't a huge, like let's say majority are not doing something. If you have a big enough group of people to cause enough problems where now it's noticeable, it becomes a problem, then something was done. It's not just a misconception because you're a foreigner or because you're an outsider. It's a perception or a stereotype that was created due to the behaviors of a large enough group of people to where now people are paying attention. So that has to be acknowledged. We can't just keep skating past that. It's cool now, good. Okay, I'm gonna drop the link.
It's always that way. And that's why, when I'm in country, I move carefully and quietly. I just move the wrong way on marketing. That's it.
Yeah.
But my thing is the balance. My counterbalance to that is to be generous, patronize the businesses.
That don't matter.
Tip well.
That don't matter.
Hire people local.
That don't matter.
And feed the economy. That's all.
When immigration has been tasked with dealing with an issue and the politicians have made it their priority, they're not going to go to these individual people. Like you're not building any social credit is what I'm trying to explain to you, sir. Now, do it because you want to do it. But in the grand scheme of things, and this is what I see a lot of people do when y'all are going to these foreign countries where ultimately we're a guest and they can deny entries at any time. Y'all believe that you are building a good social credit, right? And I'm not saying you shouldn't be building good, you shouldn't treat others right and that you shouldn't be generous. No, do that, especially if that's in your heart to do that. But understand it's not going to really help you when you standing in front of immigration and they have an agenda. And it just is what it is. And it's definitely not going to help you when you're doing good or positive things, but then you have other bad actors in the equation that are causing a big enough problem to where that completely negates your good actions. Is what I'm trying to say. And it really don't take much. What's up, Uncle Rico? How are you today?
Hey, Mariah, how you doing?
Good, and you?
Good. I enjoyed your stream yesterday. I thought it was pretty funny.
Oh, thank you.
I couldn't help. I was like, okay, that's my girl being who she is. She being true to herself. Yeah.
I said I'm gonna stop going off. I keep saying I'm gonna stop going off like that. I'm gonna try for real. I'm gonna try hard this time.
Yeah, but you ain't, because it's in you. And I don't
do that.
It's the very thing that a lot of people don't like about you, that I love about you, is that you're authentic. That's who you are. So I just don't, I don't have a problem with it. I enjoy it, and I'll defend it till the end.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you have a right to. But
we cut from the same cloth.
We are. Right. So I can't be saying pot, kettle gonna keep quiet. So this guy, Don P, I just wanted to say, I think he's a good guy. I don't think he's a bad guy.
Yeah.
He's full of shit though. I agree.
Yeah, he was running game and manipulating, but I don't think he's a bad person.
No, but he's full of shit. He's a textbook sex tourist. When you saw that this flyer, it's like, dude, $1,600 and $2,000. This is exactly what they said they didn't want. You're promoting sex. You can't tell anybody that you wasn't doing. This is crazy. So, I think
him a little scrappy had a beef. What? Oh Lord. Okay. Go ahead.
Oh, so the thing is, again, I don't, when he told his story about his businesses, I just smell bullshit on the way he described the businesses. I'm like, like 50% of everything he said on the entire Razors Live was bullshit. And it was like, you should know, if you had a $2 million business in the States, you have to pay taxes in your doing business in foreign countries. And I keep telling all these guys, none of us as Americans can lawfully work in any of these countries. It's illegal. We're not paying taxes. So
that's true.
The same way that people coming to the United States, the very first thing they say, you cannot work. That is a major violation. So if you're working in any, now people do it, but I'm like, it's fucking illegal. Don't tell me I can do what I want. Then you were trying to do some underhanded shit, nigga. Don't lie.
Yeah, and here's the thing: most people do, even in the United States. A lot of people go there, and then even if they're on the tours, they work for 6 months. But it's like, you have to understand that, like, once you start putting certain things on social media, here's the thing: a lot of these countries let a lot of stuff slide. But once they say you making that kind of money, you charge them type of prices, and then on top of that, it's tied to something that's very controversial. What y'all don't understand is that this is a political hot button. It's a very important issue in Colombia right now. They don't understand. I think they really take that for granted. I've came on here, Uncle Rico, and told them they make documentaries about passport bros in Spanish and play them on Colombian TV. Like, this is very serious. And I think that and then not just that, he's a self-proclaimed passport bro. So it's not even an accusation. Like, in this situation, y'all can't be like, oh, he's not a passport bro. He said it in his interview, and it's in his bio on TikTok. Yeah. So, that's an easy layup for immigration. Like, easy, of course.
So I don't think, put it like this, he's not going to be readmitted into the country anytime soon, if at all. And the reason why I tell you he won't, because remember the white boy Casey Redbeard, remember him? He got kicked out of Colombia. Then his ass tried to sneak in a different city, and they was waiting for his dumb ass. So I'm like,
they know that. They figured that out. They know that they're trying to come through other airports.
Yep,
they know.
So the bottom line is, I'm like, he's probably on like you said, your buddy Capo. He's what, 2 to 5 years he's banned. I'm like, I haven't heard one person that's been either inadmitted or kicked out of Colombia that has been back to Colombia. Not a single one.
Yeah. And here's the thing. Here's the thing. With a lot of them don't understand with these inadmittances and banning, they can give you a timeline, but then immigration, just because they give you a certain amount of time that like on paper you can't come in, ultimately you still gonna have to go through immigration when you try to come back, and when the ban is over, and it's at their discretion whether or not they want to let you in.
Correct. And you could be on
and
that.
9 times out of 10 they not gonna do it. It don't matter if on paper the ban is up. Okay, the immigration officers ultimately had a discretion. And it's just not very likely that if something like this happens that they're gonna let you in. And it's not, and it's not like that, they're gonna look at several factors. So people need to be aware of this. And it's not just happening in Colombia. Like outside of the whole passport thing in Bali, people don't know this. In Bali banned making content at all, like content for social media. If you make content for social media while you're in Bali, whether it's monetized or not, then if immigration finds out and they're monitoring the accounts, they're going to deport you from the country. And they have been enforcing that. So people just need to be aware. That's why a lot of people need to understand, you need to research the political climate. You need to research the laws. You need to research the enforcement before you go to these places and do certain things.
That is true. It's just like I said,
come back.
I think, like I said, I think he's a likable enough guy. He's clearly full of shit. He was trying to run game and trying to run some underground. He was pimping some hoes in Colombia. That was some shit he was doing. He was telling them, I'm gonna bring these. He was the guy that was gonna get all the simps in the States and bring them down so the hoes can line them up and they can line their pockets. That's all it is. That's all you can do, brother, is bring them their clientele that they gonna eat off, and you gonna find enough simps back in Cali or wherever you from that's gonna come. And if they're gonna pay you $2,000, they definitely gonna simp over them paisas. So he done told them, oh, get you 20, 30 of them. We're going to line up. But I'm like, that's promoting prostitutes. That's pimping. Because like in the DR, when they just passed that law where they're like a third party, the only people who can make money is the two people in the transaction, the pro and the John. If you as a third party make so much as $1 off of their transaction, you've just broken the law. That is pimping. You will go to jail for this shit. These guys, they either know it or they choose to ignore it because they want to do what the hell they want to do. And that's fine. Yes. Do it. But don't look in my face talking about I'm a businessman and I got a team of lawyers, because the hell if you're lying. It's all you're lying, because you had lawyers. If you had tax people, they would have told you to set up in the DR. You got to set up what's called an SRL, where you have to get and the first thing they tell you is to get a fucking RCN, which is a tax number, because the DGI, which is the Dominican Tax Service, will be all over your ass. You don't pay them taxes, you got problems. That's just what they do, and that's all government.
No, I mean that just is what it is. And he didn't know. But here's the thing. I'm gonna be so for real. I was talking about this with somebody else yesterday, and we were talking about how like a lot of these men, they like to claim that I'm a businessman and I do this and that. And a lot of the stuff that they be talking, it might not necessarily be that they don't have their own business, but they haven't been doing stuff the correct way, or they're not as adept in business as they claim to be. and they just front. They do a lot of pretending online, to be honest. And those cracks and those kinks start to show the more you listen to them talk. Okay, I'm gonna play the video some more.
Always been my balance. Yes, I'm here. I'm an outsider, but let me spend this dub with you. Let me spend this with you. Let me do this with you. So that's always the approach that I've taken. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna skip toward the end of this.
But I understand
another part of this interview I want to get to. Uncle Rico, can you hear me well?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you fine now. You was buffering a lot before, but for the last, maybe my big mouth straightened it out.
People that are trying to actually escape is to try to circumnavigate the ability to actually, or the responsibility to actually pay the tax. So this is the
See, this is buffering. That's what Casanova was getting on him about them taxes, like you're talking about.
reason why, even if you as an expatriate working in the actual country for an American, or excuse me, for a Dominican or Colombian actual company, you will still be taxed by America in America's taxes, including, depending on the way that you set the business and you set your business up, you will either be taxed plus on the Dominican side or the Colombian side as well. All I'm saying to you, bro, is as far as the government is concerned, you're not doing it the right way. You see,
that's just
the reason
what it
why is that I feel that you were targeted is not just because of the fact of your social media, but because of what it was portraying. It was not portraying a legal business of tourism and a guide in Colombia, that's set up in Colombia, that pays Colombian taxes, that actually employs Colombian people legally. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying because I know my boys who actually has the businesses, my business is actually set up, doesn't have those issues. They're not going to turn me away because, number one, I won't market it in a way to the underground and to the type of niggas who they don't want around, man. Like, that's the problem. At the end of the day, you can make your business and make your dollar. I'll never tell another brother not to get that money, boy. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that who you got to be honest with where the dollar coming from and who it's coming from, and knowing they don't want them in the country.
They don't want, because even if let's say he's trying to go the legal route, they don't want anybody bringing, you are self-proclaimed passport bro. They have a whole attack on passport bros in that country. So again, the best thing for him to try to do is try to figure out how to legally do tours in the country and do something like co-ed tours, like my homeboy Jonathan, who owns JetQuest, does. He does tours in Colombia, but there are men and women, and he make just as much from them tour, more money actually. It's not a tour. He does like trips, group trips, and he's able to tap into a larger consumer base because the women are included. And like, you know, they're gonna go for that because it's not just focused on a group of men who are more than likely are gonna be involved in sex tourism, which they don't want. And that's not my opinion. I'm telling you, they don't want that, you know, or they don't want it. They don't. What am I trying to say? They don't want you to come through immigration, and they know without a shadow of a doubt that that's what you come in there to do, right?
Yeah,
they know it's gonna.
For the past year, the mayor has been on a public marketing campaign saying there are two types of tourists we do not want in Medellin. We do not want drug tourists, and we do not want sex tourists. He said it crystal clear. I'm like,
I gotta start taking them at their word.
For the last year, he's been, and the first time, well, if the prostitution is legal, it's not a question of whether or not prostitution is legal. They said they don't want sex tourists, and they don't want the promotion of it. It's nothing about prostitution not being legal. Like as just like somebody said, I think I heard yesterday. Again, and it's always said, like, they know in these countries, they know they have a drug culture, they know they have a prostitution culture, but what is done in the shadows shall remain in the shadows. You niggas always coming in with a damn floodlight. That's why they have a problem with it.
It's just that's just like somebody saying, "Oh, in the United States we have a Fenty problem, so you know immigration should allow people in our country that are going to be bringing Fenty." And it's like, what? Because the issue already exists. Now I know fentanyl is illegal, but no. At the end of the day, people, when they view something as an issue in their country, and they view it as already a fire. They don't want you to come in and throw gasoline on the fire. And I had Ray Condor on my channel, and he explained, because y'all argument is like, well, why don't they just make prostitution illegal if they don't want us coming here for it? Why? They don't have to. They can just say they don't have to do that. They can just say you can't come and just admit you. They don't have to. And then too, as Ray Condor explained, a lot of the reason why they legalized the prostitution to begin with was for the girls to have legal protections, or if people didn't pay them, they could call the police and they have a way to collect their money, so that the girls didn't have to get forced into the underground. And y'all got to respect that.
And the thing is like, they want you to come as a tourist, and if you indulge in prostitution, that's not a problem. It's the fact that we want you to come as a tourist to visit the country. No one's going to knock it if you decide you want to get a little cheeks while you're here. But if that's the sole purpose of you coming, we don't want that, because we have more to offer than our women to sell themselves.
Yeah, and then they want, when you're doing that, to not put it on the internet. And it's very simple. To me, it's very, very simple. It's just a lot of people, they have a one-track mind, and they are not adult enough to be a self-governor. They don't know how to govern self. So it either has to be one extreme or the other. Either I can't do it, or you let me run amok. There's no in between. There's no doing things with the sense of nuance and decency. It's either you tell me I can't do it, or I'm about to run amok. And it's really sad, especially when you have, and I hate to say it this way, but a lot of y'all men in this space talk about leadership, men being able to lead women, and women need to let y'all lead. And that's why y'all leave in the United States, because women are not letting you lead. When a lot of y'all are not leading yourself. You cannot show self-control. If somebody tells you, if somebody doesn't explicitly say and put it into law, you can't do this, then you finna do it to the max. You finna say you don't know how to stop, control yourself, keep stuff on the low. And it's like, how can you expect somebody to take you seriously? Or how can you expect somebody to want to follow you as a leader when you can't make decisions like this for yourself?
But you know what? This is the thing that really kind of makes me. So I look at this guy, Don P. And I'm like, first of all, I'm like, you call yourself Don P. You even got a damn pimp name, Don P, right? But then I say to myself, like, if you are a real legitimate businessman from a businessman background, why would you sit and he said he'd been to Colombia 50 times, 100 times. I don't know. He'd been going for 30 years or some shit like this. The only business you can think to start in Colombia is hoes. Of all the business ideas you can come up with, why is it either running some hoes or flipping some drugs? Like nothing else comes to mind that you could think to do as a business in these countries. I don't get it. I'm like,
I don't.
That's because
it's the easiest way. I guess because that's the easiest way. But again, there are other ways. If you want to run there are other ways that's more respectable, that promote like positive tourism.
Like keep your ass out of jail.
Yeah. It's ways that'll keep you. Yeah, it's ways to make a bag. Y'all gotta stop thinking like. After a while, I understand. I came up in the hood and stuff like that. People had to do what they got to do, but after a while, you have to, especially when you start getting older, you got to outgrow certain things as the only way to make money. Like you have to evolve as a person, and that's one of the problems when people come up off of that fast money and that street shit. They have a very hard time thinking outside of that sometimes. And just like I was telling you, it's like all of this, he's saying, oh, these women is a way for me to make money off of men. Bruh, women pay for group travel trips and shit all the time, and men pay too. I
look at part of it as in one breath, I could argue, you can make the argument that it's an easy way to make money. I also make the argument that it's a lazy way to make money too. Because I'm like, if you're gonna run hoes in Colombia, you can run hoes here in the States. If you're capable of doing it.
They're hard-headed in the States.
Right. You see what I'm saying? But I'm like, you got the hoes here, you got the tricks here. It's probably more difficult because if I'm gonna run hoes in Colombia and DR and Brazil, I got to get the clients from the United States, constantly back and forth to these various countries. Well, I'd much rather just run holes here, and I ain't got to get these niggas nowhere.
It comes with more of a legal risk, though.
True, but that's what I'm saying. It's always so all of it comes down, but it's a legal risk in Colombia. It's a legal risk in DR.
But 9 times out of 10, they're just gonna send you home. You know, most of the time they rather just send you home.
But you're if you get caught pimping, your ass is going to jail in these countries. You're not just going home. That's I'm not sure if it's Colombian law, but I can promise you that it's definitively the law in the Dominican Republic.
Most of the time, Colombia, depending on what it is, depending on what it is, they're gonna send you home. Because they rather do that than waste the they see it as like we rather do this than waste the public resources. But it depends on what you did. Like the sex parties and all that, things that could be classified as pimping and providing the girls.
Trafficking.
You're not gonna think you're going home. If it's a situation where they can prove you did something to a child, then or you have weapons or stuff like that, then you're gonna have to go through that Colombian court system.
Right. Or trafficking, all of a sudden you got some of them doing it against their will.
Or messing with kids or something like that. But if it's something like the sex parties, they're gonna send you home, and if you got any type of clout, they're gonna parade you all across social media.
Yep.
Period. It's just that simple. And if you don't acknowledge that, if you don't respect that, then you're not respecting the fact that I don't care whether or not the country is doing it just for a political move or just to make it seem like they're trying to do something. It don't matter. We're not talking about nothing that we can stand behind and say, I'm proud of it. I want my kids to do what I'm doing. I want my mother to see what I'm doing. No, it's not that. And at the end of the day, the fact that you won't acknowledge that is the fact that the reason why other people will continue to do it and then other brothers will get turned away simply because that they don't realize that what they're representing ain't something that somebody wants in their home. Period.
Let Don P respond, and shout out to everybody watching. 415 people watching.
I'm gonna kind of skip to the end of this.
I'm gonna get to the super.
Hey, shout out to
everything is good with that.
Misha. Mariah, she's in the chat.
What'd you say?
I said shout out to Vibing with Misha. She's in the chat.
Hi, Misha. What up, girl? How are you? Coming in. I don't know if you saw the story where I don't know if you watched Rise Live tonight. This man, Don P, I didn't know he was a part of Trillville. So apparently he was a part of Trillville and he had a beef with Lil Scrappy. I'm like, what? Now, I remember when I saw him on Rise, I was like, he looked familiar. Like when I saw his TikTok, I couldn't see it, but I'm like, I seen this man somewhere, and it wasn't on TikTok. But apparently he had a beef with Lil Scrappy and everything. So he was throwing parties in Colombia and he was advertising them on TikTok and showing the packages. Now he says he wasn't charging people to get in the package into the actual party. So I'm not sure what the charges were actually for, because to me it looked like party packages or trick packages that he had on TikTok. But I guess he was trying to speak in technicalities. Like maybe the actual parties were free, but you had to pay for all the other stuff surrounding it. But anyway, Migration Colombia, as soon as he hit migration, they had his immigration, they had his passport flagged, and they took him back for questioning and admitted him from the country and put him on blast all over Colombian social media. So yeah, that's what we're talking about right now. And just again, I want to reiterate to people, this is not even just a passport bro thing. If you're traveling to Colombia for any type of reason to do, like if you're going on a tourist visa and you're going into that country really to like do business or make money within that country, you either need to not do that or you have to be very careful, because once immigration, it don't matter what kind of business it is, any business is grounds for inadmittance. So once they see that you're in their country with the purpose of making money, or that you're going to be working on your tourist visa, that is grounds for inadmittance. It just so happens to be that right now they're targeting the passport bros, but really that could be anybody. So y'all have to be mindful of that. You know what I'm saying? Never get too comfortable. Niggas be fucking it up for themselves. It's crazy. Yeah, because he was marketing it all on social media. And he was on here with Casanova had to call him out. Because he was like, at first he came on here, girl, and he was trying to make it seem like these parties weren't going to have working girls. But Casanova was like, well, hold on. We know you got the videos that you're showing to promote these parties have known pros on them. Immigration see that. Everybody know who these pros are. So it's like, you can't act like y'all was just coming to only do wholesome activities. It was probably, y'all probably did have some fun, some things like massages and tours or whatever planned. But then on top of that, the main draw was the girls. And this was the point I've been trying to say, Misha. It's certain things that it's not a problem. Like, I don't think Immigration Colombia cares if these men come to Colombia to see and experience the country, but you go out and at the end of the night you want to visit the red light district and go home with a girl. I don't think they care. They really don't care. The thing is, they don't like this type of shit. They don't like the promotion or attracting people to the country for that. And it's going to be a problem every single time that they know that that's what's going on. And that's what they're not getting. Not a Diddy party. What? Okay, so y'all said it's not the same dude? Okay. Get some cut and get some crunk in your system. Okay, so he wrote them songs? He wrote all them? Is that what you're trying to say? Let me go up. Yeah, girl, but that is what it is.
But I'm going to look at the business and we'll move a different way going forward. And we'll make sure that we market, but we market in a way and we do things in a way that will be more discreet and more beneficial to all parties involved. Say that.
100%. So salute to you. Keep doing your thing. You know how it is. Just make sure, do not deny the passport bros, because that's 90% of the client base that you're looking for, baby. Salute.
Oh, hold on. Let me be very clear about that. I've been very clear. Hold on a second. Let me be very clear. I am a passport bro.
Wrong move.
Right? But I am not a passport bro leader. Nobody anointed me that thing.
Wrong move, sir. Wrong
said it with his
move.
whole fucking chest.
Wrong move to say that on camera, and wrong move to have it in your bio. Again, this is not me talking. This is not me talking. If these countries decided tomorrow that they wanted to open up and they didn't care how y'all promoted it on social media, that they actually just love the stuff that the passport bros have doing, and they want all that in their country tomorrow, I would not care, because it's not my country and it wouldn't affect me. If they thought positively of y'all and they like y'all promoting the sex tourism and stuff and they was encouraging it, do y'all think I would care? I would not care, because it's not my country, and it actually would make it easier on me as a tourist, because then we don't have to worry about certain visa restrictions and them kind of tightening up on all of us abroad, right? But the reality is this, y'all. Passport bros has a very, I don't care what y'all say it is, it has a very, very negative connotation abroad, especially in places like Colombia. Y'all get very, very bad press. They have nothing positive to say about y'all. So for you to claim that term and you think you're gonna get back in their country, it's not happening. It's not happening. Right. Wrong move.
I mean, and you believe it or not, Mariah, that like Colombia is now the second country to deem passport bros as almost like an illegal organization. Remember,
which one did it first?
Brazil labeled it directly as a criminal organization.
They did. And Colombia, when I said it, they said I was lying and jealous, but you said it out your own mouth.
Now Colombia is the second country that's labeling them as an illegal, negative connotation. The DR is going to be right around the corner next.
And guess who coming behind them?
Who?
Might take a few more years. Thailand.
Yes. Because they're gonna get sick. They're gonna get sick of their ass too. They doing
Thailand
it to
coming behind.
themselves. Mhm.
Thailand coming behind them.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming. Probably DR will be before Thailand,
Yeah,
but it's coming in Southeast Asia too.
yeah.
It's
DR,
just Asians. Go ahead.
I give DR about 2 years because they're going, so, you know, well, I
The
would.
DR don't really need it. That's what I'm saying. The DR
Yeah.
don't really. People go on to the DR for regular vacation all the time.
It's
They really
really,
don't need it.
yeah,
Then they got so many of their own people coming in and out breaking bread. DR
yeah.
don't need it.
The only place,
DR just cool. That's it.
yeah,
It's just they laid back. They chill over here,
yeah,
right?
and they don't get to do, the only place where they were really out of control in the DR was Sasua. But then the government cleaned that shit up because they don't do that shit like that in Santo Domingo. You know, like where they just run wild. They don't do that in Santo Domingo because them cats in Santo Domingo, them Dominicans in Santo Domingo, not letting them do that shit.
Yeah.
They limited
It's
to
not that
how
you
they can do it
can't.
in Punta Cana and Santiago. It was mostly Sasua.
Yeah. It's not that you can't. You just can't act a fool and run amok.
Right.
Okay. So OG, damn the man. Okay. He says, and eventually the United States will crack down harder too. You know how I knew people didn't know how to read the room?
Mhm.
Okay. So one of the reasons why I stopped dancing, I ain't even gonna hold you. If the club was still good, the money was still good, I would still be in the club. To this day, if the money was, I would probably be working like a job in sales or something in the United States. And then, 3 days out the week hitting the club because why not? That was good money, right? But I started reading the room. So I remember in Dallas, first of all, I had to know a shift was coming, right? And this was even before Trump took office. All this hood shit, street shit, that shit over. So I noticed a lot of the dudes that would come in the club, all the major, dope boys and stuff, they all started going to jail. And y'all got to understand all of that COVID, PPP loans and stuff, that was a whole setup. They gave people enough rope to hang themselves. So people started going to jail and behind that. Boom. All the dope boys going to jail. Boom. All the dudes that was stealing catalytic converters and coming to make it rain in the club. Boom. They going to jail, right? Okay. So the money started drying up in the club. And I noticed this about 2020. It started 2020, end of 2021. By 2022, it was dry. Like it was, I knew I had to move around, and not just that. Another thing that they did in Dallas. So I worked at what would be considered an after-hour strip club. So it was open until 6 a.m. So that was very good for me because I would go into work at 2 a.m. and I would leave at 6. So I work a 4-hour block. And the great thing about that time is that when people are leaving the regular club, they're going to the after-hour strip club, right? So we didn't have to compete with the regular club. Dallas passed a city ordinance that said that the clubs had to close at 2 a.m. I already knew it was over. It was over, right? They tried to fight it in court. I already knew it was going to happen. So I eventually started making my plans to go into another field at that time because I knew it was over, right? But a lot of the girls in the club still were not reading the room. They did not understand. Another thing that they did during that time, they changed the age of the girls working in the club from 18 to 21. So if you want to work at the strip club in Texas, you had to be 21 years old. So a lot of the girls, boom, they had to get up out the club. So it was, and now they're doing full on raids and getting a lot of these clubs are shut down because they got raided because they had a lot of illegal Cuban immigrants and stuff in them. So that's what I'm saying. If you've been paying attention, not even just in Latin America, but in the United States, it's over for a lot of that hood shit.
Yeah.
And making your money through ways that is not legit. Or not even just the hood shit. Things that people just deem like morally on that line, or things that are not the most moral things to be doing that they see as vices. A lot of that shit is being either driven to the underground or they're putting more rules and regulations on it. And it's been happening for a few years now. And it's not just happening in the United States. This is happening in many other countries abroad. What was your stage name? Sincere. That's why MariahSincere. I kept my stage name.
And that's what makes it, like you said, the profit margin gets thin on like what you like I said. I mean, you know, like you said, they're charged because I think they used to well, I don't know because I ain't never danced, but don't like some clubs, like some girls have to pay to get stage time?
No, how it works is you have to pay it. How it works is you have to pay a fee to get in to work on any given night, right?
Okay.
Now, if you work during the weekday, it's cheaper, and if you want to work the weekend, the fee is higher. And the fee, so depending on what time you came in to work, that was the fee that you were going to pay. So, for example, let's say you came in to work really early. Let's say you came 6 o'clock in the evening, right?
Mm-hmm.
You might pay like a $20 fee. I would always come in at 2 in the morning. Technically the next day, I'm paying a $70 fee. Okay. And then if you didn't work a certain amount of days on the weekday, what they will do is they might charge you like, okay, well, you didn't work all week, but now you want to come in and work Friday. You got to pay the house fee on top of another $100 fee. So now you already out of $170 before you even made any money.
Yeah, because that's what I'm trying to figure. Like, how is the club making money? So they're charging the dancers to dance.
Oh, they're making money. It's not just that. It's different kind of clubs. So they might charge. Okay, they charging the girls to come into work. It's not free. We're paying the DJ. All the girls tipping the DJ $10. Then you tip the house mom. The house mom is the mom that provides like all the supplies for the girls to an extent. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Like, for example, makeup, wipes, and things like that. She might provide. You got to pay her $10. That's how she makes her money. The club don't pay her, right? So she gets paid based on the amount of girls that came into work that night. And then the club, depending on the club, they might make money off of liquor sales. But if the club sells liquor, they have to close at 2 a.m. And the girls can't get at least in Dallas and the girls in Texas in general, if the club sells liquors, the girls can't take off their bottoms and they have to close at 2 a.m. If you worked at an after hours club like I did, the club wasn't making money off of liquor because you can't sell liquor at an after hours club. But they would do things like sell you a setup. So now they might give you ice, and then they could sell juices and mixers and things like that it was BYOB. You had to bring your own liquor, you know? Club couldn't sell. Okay. And then, of course, most of these clubs would have a bootlegger that would sell the liquor outside the club.
And then they have a door charge?
And then they have a door fee, right? So then they charge a door fee. And then if you want to get a private dance, then the dancers would have to give you, like, let's say a dance was $25 per song. Now the dancers are paying the club $5 out of that 25.
So they're getting a cut of everything.
They getting a cut of everything. And then you had some clubs that might be set up to where they got like champagne rooms and things like that. And then they're charging like $2,000. I've even seen some clubs charge $4,000, you know, for an hour in that champagne room. Okay, well then a percentage of that is going to go to the club. So it really just, there are some clubs, like if you worked at a black club like KOD or something like that, where they would make money off of selling sections, liquor, and then they would have somebody come sweep the stage. And then when they sweep, you couldn't touch the money. They would put it in a bag, and then the club would take a percentage out of all the money that you made off the stage. But it's not like that at every club. That was primarily like a black club thing. Girl, you see me like breaking this down for them. Am I on point, Misha?
What is it
like where you were? Am I on point? I'm
just
over here giving
niggas to bring their money. So all you
was Gina.
You say just all niggas need to worry about just bring your money.
Somebody said you look like Tashina Arnold. Is that why? On point, yeah. It just depends on the club. Like, it really just depends on the club.
Okay.
So the best clubs to work at was what ones where it was. I love to always work at the clubs where if you made your money on the floor or on stage, you didn't have to share it, and they only charged they only made you give a cut from like lap dances. Those are the best clubs. You get to keep most of your money.
The amount I'm taking.
Colombian government, we not leading shit.
Hey,
Salute, dog.
that's not a crown that I want. That's not a crown that I'm taking.
Yo, why everybody dropped the crown? You know what I'm saying? They gave it to Austin. He said, nah. They gave it to
Because
BMT.
Austin is very smart.
But he's, anyway, salute, yo. I'm gonna jump off, man.
All right, brother.
As much grief as people give Austin, he's very smart. Now, we're gonna get into okay. Now, disclaimer, this next part of my live, y'all, I'm gonna talk about how Casanova and Homies Hub got into it on this panel. And it's because Casanova, thank you so much, Casanova. I really appreciate you. Casanova basically called Homies Hub out for all the stuff he been saying about me. And I want to be very clear. I know this has been like a long beef, but all of this started, I was minding my business and Homies Hub started all this. All of this has been a reaction to stuff he said about me when I didn't even know this man. That man has disrespected me. He has talked about my child several times. He's talked about my parenting several times. He continues to bring up the dynamic between me and my child's father and try to cause strife in that situation where so it's like you getting into my personal family business. Yesterday, it's like, okay, you coming at me one thing because I be talking shit too. But yesterday, he was saying that my daughter has colonizer blood. Because she's part. He said that. Yes, he said that on live because he got upset because I said that he is not a Black American, that he's Nigerian, and I never said there's anything wrong with being Nigerian. Mentuition called him a tether. I even said one live, I don't like that word. I don't have nothing against Nigerians. I don't have nothing against.
I don't have nothing against Nigerians, but I use it.
I never used the word tether. Even though he claims that I've called him a tether, I've never called him that because I don't like that word. And I don't have any problems with African people. And I've made that very, very clear. I don't have issues with African people. My point that I was making is that Homies Hub constantly tries to use the animosity that or some of these grievances that Black men and women have between each other to try to basically rally the troops against me. And it's like, sir, this don't have nothing to do with you. It don't have nothing to do with you because you was not African American. You're not foundational Black American. You're not our culture. You are a guest. You are an immigrant. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with Africa. But I said this. But it's like you keep on trying to use our issues, not because you care about us, but because it's profitable for you, right? It's profitable. It's a talking point. It's a way to use it in a selfish way, a self-serving way, not because you actually care. Because at the end of the day, sir, you Nigerian, your people, your roots, your lineage is from there. He's called me like basically talked about me for being biracial. And it's like, sir, biracial people have been a part of African-American history this whole entire time. We talking about Ida B. Wells, Frederick Douglass, W.E.B. Du Bois. There are so many biracial people. Like, we are just as much a part of that culture and that lineage and are the reason why you're even able to come here, because all of these people were a part of these civil rights movements and things like that, or abolitionist movements. So it's like, to me, it's just very, very disrespectful for you to feel like you have some type of merit just because your skin is darker than mine, but you're not a part of my culture to be racist toward me, right? And then on top of that, yesterday you said my daughter has colonizer blood. When, sir, Nigerians, and maybe more than likely your family wasn't involved in it, but like, let's be so for real, the Nigerian royalty and business class sold Black people into slavery.
But let me say
so
this,
it's like you can't be mad. You can't label all white people or people who have European lineages as colonizers, and then at the same time think just because your skin is okay. If you're gonna hold that standard, and if you're gonna be racist towards white people for what you perceive their ancestors to have done, and a lot of their ancestors might not have even been in. My dad's family came here after slavery and after colonization. Let's be very clear, right? But it's like, if you're gonna do that, then how would you feel if somebody called all Nigerians slave traders? Because y'all people had an equal hand in slavery and things like that. So he got upset because I said that. And then he was like, yeah, your daughter has colonizer blood. And it's like, bro, you talking about my daughter? You out of pocket, bro. It really made me mad. Like if we would have been in face to face and he would have said that shit, I would be going to jail.
But let me say this, Mariah. Okay, I'll start with the premise that whatever he chooses to say about you as an adult woman, y'all been going back and forth. I ain't even going to address that. I could care less about that. I do think anybody's out of line for going after anybody's child in this space. I don't care. Stop no matter what. Let me tell you what I deem now the term. See, and the reason why, and I understand if you don't want to use the word tether, don't use it. I do use it. I use it freely, and I'll tell you why, because this is what my understanding of the word is. I think a lot of times people don't quite understand what it is, and they think when you say tether, you're saying all Africans. That is not what a tether is. Tether is a term that was used towards African immigrants in the same way in the FBA community. We use terms like coon and Sambo and Uncle Tom. Does a coon, Sambo, and Uncle Tom, does that apply to all Black people? No, it applies to a subset of Black people with a specific behavior, undermining and fucking, like we say, acting white and trying to sell out the greater collective. So when the term tether got popularized by Tariq Nasheed, he was speaking about a subset of African people, immigrants, that undermine a collective of us. So that's all the term. Tether is no different than saying coon or Sambo to a Black person. And we know we use that freely when somebody's acting like an Uncle Tom, or somebody's acting like a coon, or somebody acting like a Sambo. All Black people don't get upset when they hear the term because they're like, well, I'm not displaying that behavior, so they ain't talking to me. So when we say a tether, we're talking about a subset of African immigrants that are displaying a particular behavior towards our group. So that's all it is. But what they do is they clutch their pearls, and it's not a slur. It's not racial. It's not any of those things. While they freely use the N-word, which I don't care about that, because I figure if you black, you black. But the fact of the matter is they try to use that to say, oh, you call me a thug. So then they can get reckless with their language. And that's all that is. So don't let them, you don't have to use
nevertheless, I never even called him that.
Right.
And I said every time I've talked about it, I say, and I remember when I talked about it, I said mental, we shouldn't have called him that, but I don't use that word.
But I just tell people, I just got my African neighbors, friends, the doctors, this Cameroon, they're not tethers, but I know some tethers. So again, it doesn't apply to all immigrants. My wife's an immigrant. It doesn't apply to all immigrants. It doesn't apply to all African immigrants. It applies to a subset group of people who have a specific behavior, who will come here and show their motherfucking ass. That's what a tether is. Tariq has explained that 1,000 times ad hoc, but because they want to go against the whole FBA ideology and all this, they're gonna clutch their pearls and go, they're being divisive. Get the fuck out of here.
Man, he was doing the most.
Right.
Robert was up here and he didn't know what an FBA was. So I explained it to him. And then we started talking about reparations. And Robert was actually like, hey, we need to see if people will hear, Black people out on the whole reparations argument. Like he was genuinely trying to understand, which here's the thing. If we as Black people want certain things to get changed, or we feel like certain things are issues, you crazy as hell if you think you're not going to have to work with the white majority. And, the biggest minority block right now, the Hispanic community in the United States, nothing is moving without them, especially not the white. So it's like, we can't talk about these issues. If you're saying we shouldn't be talking about these issues in front of them, then you just don't want to solve the issue. So Homie's Hub was like, yeah, she breaking code. First of all, code, you're not even a part of this, sir. You're not a part of this.
It's not about reparations.
Yeah, especially none of that shit. FBA, you're not involved in this. You're not involved in this, sir. And furthermore, I'm not going to be racist. When a white person is trying to understand, I'm not going to say, it's ignorant to say that's none of your business because you're white or you're a colonizer, and that's fucking stupid, right? So, and that's what I'm saying about somebody who acting like they care about our issues, but they don't really care about our issues. They're just using our issues to be divisive, and it's like, bruh.
But that's the thing, right? That's why Tariq coined the term tether, because again, and it made sense to me when I heard it explained. He's like, we could be arguing for reparations to the government, to white people, and then they would get a subset of melanated people who look like us to come to Congress and say, we don't need reparations. And it'll be a motherfucker who ain't entitled to it in the first place. So that was, and I was like, that shit made sense. So
I'm saying it's like certain conversations don't have nothing to do with y'all. It's really between us and yes, the American
government.
White people and the government. Like it just is what it is. And yeah, if we want certain things like that done, it's certain things that have to be in order, and it's certain conversations that have to be had, and it's certain relationships that have to be repaired, not just between us and white people, but again, us and other minority communities, especially the Hispanics, because they're now a bigger voting bloc than us. So for him to try to have this, she not on code, and people in his chat gassing at, it's like, are y'all retarded, or do y'all just, first of all, you don't got shit to do with this, and second, do y'all want to complain, or do you want to be solution oriented? Because if you want to be solution oriented, some certain conversations have to be had in front of American white people. And he was doing his best. He wanted to understand. So, and he was like, hey, I think there's a way that this could happen if it was presented the right way, you know? And it was just so ignorant the way he was talking about it. And then to try to make it seem like basically what he was saying is you're dumb if you're saying I'm not black because your daughter is half African. Okay, yeah, she half African, and her dad is not a black. So what are we talking about? And she's not black. She's half African, and she has colonizer blood. And it's like, what the fuck? Why would you talk about my child?
Yeah,
in such a racist manner? Why would the fuck would you say that?
They shouldn't be. Nobody should be bringing up anybody's children. Period.
Yeah, and then to be racist towards her, all because you got upset because I said you're not FBA, you're African. That wasn't a slur. It's just a matter of fact.
And I mean, he's heard that before. He's heard that from a lot of the men in this space. And I ain't never heard him bring up none of their kids.
He bring up my child every chance he get. He bring up my child every chance he get. And I remember him telling, we're always wrong to bring people wife into a situation. He told Rob that. But from the beginning, from the very first time he's spoken about me, he's always brought up my child. So he bring up my child every opportunity that he gets. It's just he really crossed the line yesterday, right? So you talking about my child in a racist way. Again, we could sit up here, us Black Americans, we could call y'all Nigerians a lot of things for the hand that y'all's ancestors had. And again, it was a small minority, so that's why we don't do it. That'd be ignorant. Mm-hmm. We could call them a lot of things for the hand that they had in the slave trade, but we don't never say nothing about it. So what gives you what makes you feel like you have a right to say anything to white Americans, and you don't know their history, you don't know their bloodline, and then on top of that, to say that about a mixed child? You know what I'm saying? It's like people like him, honestly and truly, they want us by that's another thing. Somebody was like, you need to get a DNA test. You might have white in you. He was like, he said something like, I would go kill myself. And it's like, well, sir, the majority of Black Americans have admixture. The majority of Black Americans have white in us. That's why we don't look like y'all. We don't look like, you can tell the phenotypical difference between a Nigerian and a Black. Most Black Americans look very, different. We have distinct features from African. So what are you trying to say? And it's like people like that try to make us hate ourselves, or biracial people hate ourselves because you feel like it's something wrong with us because you have such a vitriol hate towards white people that's completely unwarranted, because your people didn't even go through the brunt of the horrors that our ancestors experienced. So what are you talking about here?
But
To me, it was just disrespectful on all accords.
Yeah, I just look at it from the standpoint, and that's why I sit there and say, and we'll button it up, because I know it's probably upsetting you when you think about it, because I would be upset as a parent. Again, like I said, they say this for me, like I said, my enlightenment around it, and it's crystal clear to me. And then I start to see it more and more every day, that when, like you say, certain certain topics come up, and you start to pay attention, that's like, damn, in these political discussions and these policy positions, and you see, and Tariq pointed out the CBC, like, this person has this immigrant background, that person, and look at the policy positions they're fighting for, and how we're being neglected. And every time we talk about reparations, they want to go to something else and something else. And you start to see that, what? This is some fucking undermining behavior. This is a fucking tether. This is what is, as he described, that this subset of black people, they're black, because I call them all black. They're not African American. Well, they're not FBA. They're not Black American, but they are racially black. I don't do that. Oh, you're not black because you from Jamaica. You're not. People from Haiti are black. People from Jamaica
but
are black.
African, but Nigerians in Africa don't call themselves black.
Right, I know, but I'm just saying of the racial classification, not.
I don't even play with that either. Like, no, I don't play with that either. They call themselves Nigerian. Let's leave it at that.
Okay, well then that's fine.
Nigerian, you got dark skin. It just is what it is. Because then what happens is we confuse. It get too confusing.
Okay, you're melanated. We can leave it at melanated. Is melanated fair?
I mean, melanated is fair, but they Nigerian. At the end of the day, they Nigerian. Like, okay, we know what Nigerians look like, right?
Well, then if that's the case, then there should be. So even the term tether is saying a subset of Nigerian, a subset of Ghanaians, a subset, not all, because all of these nationalities don't do this behavior. Some of them know it ain't my business. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut, and I'm not gonna go over there, and I'm not gonna undermine those FBAs. You know what I'm saying? Those are the ones I fuck with.
It's okay to disagree too. Even if here's the thing, people have freedom of speech in the United States. So if they agree with whatever it is, disagree, fine, disagree, but don't disagree as an immigrant. Don't disagree and misrepresent yourself as one of us. And disagree with somebody from the immigrant population. Like, don't disagree as if you speaking for us or speaking with us, because your ancestors don't have shit to do with that. We have our ancestors have been here. The slave trade, the transatlantic state. Okay, the first slave came to the United States. What was that? About between 1808 and 1608 and 1615, and the international slave trade ended in 1808. Okay, so we have ancestors that have been here for about some of us have had ancestors who have been here from between 400 and 250 years. Yeah. We have lineages of people buried in this soil that have a legacy, that have put in work to build this country. And I don't think it's right for somebody who comes from an immigrant family, first generation, or your parents came here, for you to make it seem like just because you grew up around us, that you have some type of claim to the culture, when you don't. It's just like if I was to move to Nigeria and go live, or if I was to be born in an African, my family were to go live around Igbo people, and I was to be born, but I couldn't say, oh, I'm Igbo. No, I couldn't place any claim on y'all heritage or y'all tribe. And that's what I'm saying. People don't respect African Americans. So that's why they don't see it as a legitimate argument, or they don't see us as a legitimate ethnic group. Everybody thinks that it's a catch-all phrase. Everybody thinks that being a black American is a catch-all phrase, and that they can disrespect us and disregard us. And I don't like that, especially when I didn't disrespect or disregard him. You see, I still have not said anything bad about Nigerians, right? So it's to the point where, it was very disrespectful for him to make those comments in an audience full of African Americans, saying, if I got one drop of white blood, I would go kill myself. Well, sir, the majority of your audience, they're Black American, they got white in them. If they're a Black American, rest assured that they took the DNA test. They have white in them. So it's to the point where, again,
more than a drop.
More than a drop. You know, most of us have anywhere, like the average African American that don't have like, you know,
10 to 15,
an immediate
maybe
family
20%.
member that's white. Yeah, it's gonna have 15, 20,
20%.
10, 8. It really just depends. But we are not pure blooded. We're not pure blooded from an African tribe. It don't work like that.
If
Here,
the average black person had 25% white, I wouldn't be shocked. It wouldn't shock me. It just wouldn't, because we just, in these United States of America, we know how we develop. And like, as Tariq said, clearly we went through an ethnogenesis and we became a distinct ethnic group. And I just think, again, that's why I say, to me, the term tether is well within right to be used. It just needs to be used correctly,
like the lifestyle
right
guy.
circumstances. That's all. But
yeah,
it's usable. It absolutely, and it fucking applies.
Yeah, no, very true, very true. So now, guys, we're gonna get into the stuff that the argument between Casanova and the Homies Hub.
Yeah, I want to hear that so I can go to bed.
Casanova went in. Did you hear it?
Hear that.
With the Airbnb, their policies isn't necessarily
Utilize an Uber.
okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. It could be that they were presented it to the public, in this case, me, in a way that makes them look more favorable. I give you that. I don't know how that will work with the Airbnb thing, but you're right. It could.
You know what I'm saying? It's just, speaking about this being content creators and us being men in the space, one of the things that we want to make sure that we actually represent is true manhood. And true manhood makes it so that we don't attack beautiful women that comes into the space for whatever reason. We want to make sure that we are the true leaders in the space and give them the actual the platform to be able to speak their mind, unless, of course, that you feel like you could never pull that type of woman. What you think, Razor?
Why Razor quiet?
Razor, we can't hear you if you're responding.
Razor.
Well, hold on. Let me. Hello.
He's thinking.
No, I mean, homie, up. Can you hear me?
Razor.
Yeah, you're good.
All right, all right. What you said, Casanova?
We were just responding. We were just talking about us being men in the space and us being leaders in this YouTube creation space and wanting to represent ourselves as the true alpha males who will accept the women in this actual space that decide to come in and not attack them. Don't you believe that we should be the leaders and we should be accepting and opening the doors?
Somebody said in the comments, I know this Fruity Pebbles ass nigga ain't talking about no women. Wow. And I ain't gonna lie, it was in his comments. This is what I say. This is what I didn't realize. I saw a lot of support for me in this comment section tonight. And I didn't realize people supported me like that. Because
the beautiful women.
Sometimes the way people be coming at me on their channels, I think that the majority of people in this space don't like me, but I'm starting to see maybe that's not the reality.
Who channel was this on?
Razor Rays.
So this was at the end of Razor Rays live yesterday?
Yeah. Somebody said Homies Hub ready to fight Mariah, but not a man. No,
so
today.
Razor Rays did a live last
This was today.
night? Huh?
No, this was today. Well, I mean, technically it was last night.
Oh, so this was at the end of the Don P.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, okay. I didn't keep watching it.
That they wouldn't give them no pussy type shit. What you think, Razor?
How did Napoleon? Okay.
Well, you know what? We have multiple women inside the space. Shout out to Zed. Shout out to Yo Soy Kayla. Now she's been, absent for a minute, but shout out to Yo Soy Kayla. MariahSincere. She is in the running for Rookie of the Year, to the chagrin of a lot of people. But shout out to her.
Shout out to MariahSincere, Rookie of the Year. Finally, we get some beauty in the goddamn space, and we don't gotta worry about the momos and the chomos in the space worried about us. Salute to Mariah.
And the double R kick homies up off the panel. He's using complete sentences and making sense. Bring up some guys that can't afford to travel and go anywhere. Now, well, we're not going to get too much into MariahSincere, because,
No, it's not about Mariah. It's about the suckers that got a problem with her. It's about the bitch ass niggas that's want to talk about that they should fucking be in the ring with her or even in a joking matter. Sucker nigga shit. That's what we talking about.
Now y'all see.
So I know this is between you and.
Hold on. Now y'all see Homie's Hub being quiet. Homie's Hub being quiet.
Yeah.
Homie, now Casanova talking cash, money, shit. The way Homie's Hub be ready to come at my neck and come at my throat, he's sitting over there quiet a little too long. Quiet. I think he honestly didn't expect nobody to check him. So I think he had to sit over there and gather his thoughts.
Somebody else, but I do have to say this.
Yo, salute, game changer.
Yeah, salute to you, brother. Do you realize that after all of this that you're doing, she's still not gonna fuck you?
It's not about fucking us. It's about us representing ourselves as men.
Game changer. You hear Homie Tub talking about some right. Now you got something to say. You just got called a sucker, all that kind of stuff. You done sat there quiet. And now when Game Changer, you so damn degenerate, Game Changer.
I told you about his little queer ass. I told you.
Yeah.
I said that nigga ain't shit. He don't like black women. I don't think he like women.
Yeah, you so damn degenerate. Men, here's the thing. What Casanova is saying, it's not about whether or not you want to sleep with a woman. So are women only, you should only conduct yourself as a man when it comes to women, only when you want to sleep with her? Do women only deserve respect when you want to sleep with them? And that's so crazy to me. Should you only support a woman or have when you want to sleep with her? Mm-hmm. And like when I'm hearing from Casanova, it's like this ain't really even just too much about me, but how you conduct yourself on the internet when it comes to women, how you conduct yourself as a man. And what does that have to do with whether or not a woman is going to sleep with you? That shouldn't be determined on whether or not a woman will lay down with you. And that's the problem with a lot of these men in the space. Y'all tie too much of this interaction on the internet to sex and sexual gain. When again, and Casanova's gonna make this point, don't know if you already getting it in real life, ain't nobody coming on the internet looking for no coochie.
Right. And I was gonna say, if your issue is tied to the woman ain't gonna fuck you, then just leave her alone. Just leave her alone. But y'all want to keep fucking with why do y'all want to keep fucking with a woman that you acknowledge ain't gonna give you no pussy? She ain't gonna give you no pussy. Leave the woman alone. Cause
here's the thing, men like the Homie Tub, and I would even go so far as to say you too, Game Changer.
Right.
They like to see women suffer. They love to like dunk on women because they know their audiences are gonna love it because of their audience like to see verbal and physical violence against women. And again, me and Homie Tub would have never had been having this back and forth had he not disrespected me to begin with. And he gonna forever lie. We all saw it. We all saw how he talked about me when he first started talking about me. He gonna forever lie and make it seem like he didn't do that, but he did, and we all saw it. And I ran through that. But and here's the thing: a lot of these dudes, they're so socially awkward. It's like, I want to give the benefit of the doubt and be like, damn, maybe they got some type of high functioning autism or on the spectrum, and they don't know when they're being disrespectful. But I feel like it's giving too much credit. Like, I feel like y'all be doing this shit on purpose and then be trying to throw y'all rock and hide y'all hand. So it's to the point where it really should have just never got to this, because all of this started because men were mad or men had an issue or felt like I owed them an explanation because I'm a single mom living abroad, traveling abroad with my daughter. And I responded to the men that was in my comments being upset about that because they were saying Colombia is a man's world and it's for men to come down there and and do pay for play and deal with prostitutes. So now I addressed them, and then you got niggas like Homies Hub feel the need to say I owe them an explanation, talk about me in a sexually explicit manner, disrespect me as a mother, and think I'm not supposed to say anything.
Do me a favor, Mariah.
Constantly bring up my child.
Do not drop no link for Game Changer. Let him sit there and get this talking to while we continue to discuss.
No, I'm not. Game Changer, I'm not letting you up here, and you already know why I'm not letting you up here.
Right.
You already know why I'm not letting you up here. So you can sit there, and here's the thing, Game Changer. First of all, you already know I don't gotta bring you back up. You know why you got kicked off for the last time.
Because he's just gonna come up here and play in our face.
Yeah, you know why
that's all
you
he
got
gonna
kicked
do.
off on my last live. So after that, I wasn't letting you up anyway. Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me check. So I wasn't letting you back up after what you said on my last live. Okay. So let's start there. And second, I'm definitely letting you up when you on other channels shaming people for defending me. You know what I'm saying? And then making it seem like just trying to sexualize the situation. You disrespectful. So it is what it is. So you free to watch, you free to comment, as long as you being respectful. But I don't really got nothing for you. What's up, Morocco Drama? In the echo.
They got an echo.
Oh,
Yeah, they got an extra stream up.
You hear the echo now?
Say something again.
Can you hear
we
me?
still hear the echo.
Yeah.
You still hearing it?
Yeah.
Hold on. What about now?
I think it's good. Say it again.
What about now?
The echo's still there.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. My system, I don't know. I took one of the speakers apart and it's still echoing. I don't know what's going on. What about now? You still? I don't hear it now.
No, I don't hear it. But
No,
a
I
little
hear
bit. But go ahead. I'll mute and you talk.
I'm on mute too.
Can you hear it?
Let me see. Yeah, I still hear the echo. Do you have me playing on another device?
No, I got it on Stream Studio. Oh, hold on. What's that? Wait a minute. Let me see something. What about now? I took one of them down.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
No, I still hear it.
You still hear it? I took one of the streams down.
It might be another one up. Check and see.
Yeah, you can only have one plan once you're on. Maybe go all the way out, close them all, and then come back in just on one.
Okay. Let me go out. I'll come back in.
Okay. All right, so let's continue to play.
You gotta remember something. At the end of the day, when you are coming from a place of abundance, where you get pussy in every state that you go to, in every country that you're at, in every location that you pull up in, that you can pull a beautiful woman. It's not about fucking looking at one specific woman and trying to conquer that. It's about the fact that we're supposed to be respecting ourselves as men. We're supposed to be representing ourselves as the prime actual alphas in this world. And the thing that we don't do is we don't attack women just because that they being women. We know that women are emotional. Game Changer. You have many conversations about this emotional instability of women. Yes or no?
Yes, I do.
So you know that that's the case, correct?
I don't feel that it's alpha to encourage or allow a group of men to be influenced by women.
We don't need to be.
Game Changer, that don't make sense because you bring your ass here every time I get on live to be influenced by me, if that's the case.
Twerking.
You bring your ass here, and here's the thing: if you like what I gotta say, ain't nothing wrong with that. But what's weird is you come over here to listen to me, but then you have a problem with me being in the space. That's the weird shit. Or you talking about, oh, we shouldn't allow a group of men to be influenced? Then go on somewhere else. Okay, go somewhere else. Don't come over here listening. And that's what I keep saying to all the men who got an issue with me being here. You don't have to fucking be here. I'm not twisting none of y'all arm to come over here and listen to anything I have to say.
I tell you what, Game Changer. Hold on. I tell you what, Game Changer. I will sit there and get Mariah to let you up, but you got to be on cam. Since you such a man and you so masculine, and you're so much in your masculine energy, you can come up, but you got to be on cam. Is that a deal? Because you're not gonna hide down there behind your little fucking chessboard. Be a masculine man, show your face, talk your shit with your chest out, with your fucking face, and stop hiding like some little fucking schoolgirl in some school play hiding behind the curtain. Just come up and be on cam. That's not a big ass. That's a baby ass.
Yeah, he not gonna.
There you go. See? Guess what you like to do? You like to hide behind your little chessboard, say your little slick shit. But see, when Mariah didn't know, you was over here kissing her ass, trying to get, Mariah, what did it, do all? Man, ain't nobody. Your shit been seen through so long ago, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, game changer. Out of there.
Influenced in it. If you're a strong man, you don't even acknowledge it, right? Game changers, you don't even acknowledge it. You don't even acknowledge it. You just let them do what women do.
But wait, CC, can I ask you a question? Wait, hold on. Can I ask you a question? Weren't you supposed to meet up for a fist fight and you ended up beating a dude with a stick than just throwing hands? So
I whip niggas down. When niggas, you have to remember what
how can you speak on manhood?
So you ask me a question, I'm gonna answer it.
So this nigga just called you a sucker, a pussy ass, all that shit. And your question to him is, weren't you supposed to meet up with a fight and you beat the dude with a stick?
I'm still waiting to hear.
And you see, he took long to. He was just sitting over there that whole time thinking of something to say.
Can I ask you?
And you know what I'm saying? Like, where's the real energy? Where the energy? Like, where the energy?
Here's another question: Did Rob
and
ever
at least he met up?
Did Rob ever get a reply to what he offered last night?
Well, Homie Tough said he wasn't gonna fight Rob.
No. Rob offered to buy a ticket so they can come fight Knack.
I didn't watch the whole stream, so I don't know.
On your stream.
I know. I'm talking about this stream. I can't say whether or not Homie's Hub have accepted the fight with Knack Meezy because I don't know.
Well, Rob would know. So check with Rob because if
I don't know if they'll be talking because Rob said on my channel last night at the end of the stream that he not rocking with Homie's Hub like that, and he not going. He said it's no beef, but he won't be going on his show anymore just off of the strength of like a thumbnail he made. Me and Rob is cool, we friends, so it's like just off of the strength of a thumbnail he made, and then what he said about my daughter yesterday. He was like, nah, I can't do it.
Yeah, I didn't know he said that shit about your daughter. That's fucked up.
Yeah,
but I would have thought. But like this, he can get in touch with Rob if he want to accept. That ain't hard.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Rob was still, just not going on his channel, or they not cool, or not, or not. They not beefing either, but he just not rocking with it, And Rob told Homie's Hub yesterday because Homie's Hub made the comment that I need to be in the sandwich. I need to be making a man a sandwich and scrubbing it. And Rob was like, "You ain't never gonna find no good woman acting like that."
Nope.
Like he was like, "Bro, that's." You know what I'm saying? Like, where I was like, you never gonna find no good woman.
You wouldn't know a good woman that can make a sandwich if all you doing is fucking whores. That's all they fuck is whores.
It's true. It's true. If you don't like a woman or want to listen to a woman's opinion, why even be in her chat? You probably got a bunch of low-key haters. And then I'd be some, but guess what? I done start blocking them to life gamblers. Soon as I catch a little bit, because I was being lenient and letting stuff slide. But soon as I catch a little, low-key shade, or I see people over here, bro, you block because you just over here just to be negative. Go do that shit on somebody else's channel.
Yeah. Answer the question. So let me tell you what it is. There's no such things as rules in this motherfucking world. When you a pussy nigga and you ain't never been outside, you don't know what it is to make sure you come home. I don't give a fuck about what the fuck you pussy ass niggas think, especially a bitch ass nigga that fucking talk about other women and talk down on beautiful black women. Bitch, I'll beat your ass with a stick too. I'll beat social to the point to where that nigga said,
That's the thing. That's another thing.
Let's shut out
Homie's Hub done said so much shit about Black American women, because you ain't talking about the Nigerian women. We know exactly who you talking about. You have no fucking right. You have no right.
Mariah, let's shout out brother Knack Meezy. We just
Knack
talking
Meezy.
about you, boss.
How are you today?
I was wondering if anybody if Rob's offer was accepted yet. I don't think it's going to get accepted. I know it won't, but Like
well,
you said,
I don't know.
hopefully
Yeah,
it's
I haven't
coming
heard.
out
I talked to
soon.
Rob earlier today, but we didn't talk about that, so I don't know.
No.
I'm gonna drop the link. I don't know where you at, Nat, but if you want to come up, you welcome to come up. I'm reviewing Homie's Hub and Casanova got into it on Razor Ray's last live that he just did, cause of the thing, the things Homie's Hub was saying about me. Like this is one of the Travel Squad has checked him. I gotta go back because I think Travel Squad got on him today in this live. But this actually one of the first dudes in the travel space to really call him out and behind, like go like at him like that and behind me. So like I really appreciate like Casanova. Like I really appreciate you. It feels so good to finally, like as a woman, it honestly just kind of like restored my hope. Because like when you're a woman and you see that a whole bunch of men are letting a man just kind of
Violate a woman,
violate and talk shit, it kind of make you start losing faith. It's like, damn, ain't nobody really calling him out or speaking up to him when they get on these panels about this shit like they should be. Do all of y'all agree with this, or do y'all think like that? So just to finally see somebody step up, why should I have to sleep with him for him to like, bro? You
game changer. Don't answer him. Game changer.
You so
game
fucking
changer.
You're so degenerate. Game changer. It's not about. It's not about that. It shouldn't be about that.
That's the reductive thinking that they do.
That's so lame and dumb, and it's embarrassing. You embarrass yourself when you get on the internet. You misrepresent your people when you get on the internet and you say stuff like that. You embarrass you detract from your masculinity and your manhood. It don't just look bad to me, but like it look bad in front of other people. Quit doing that.
I brought that nigga back to the light. It's about making sure that you brothers understand that you need to stand on your motherfucking square, you bitch ass niggas. I'm tired of you sucker ass niggas thinking that this space is safe for you. It ain't. It ain't safe for you niggas. And at the end of the day, if I see you, I'm gonna beat your ass with a stick too. Unless you apologize, get on your knees, and suck that beautiful MariahSincere twat. You heard, pussy?
Damn.
All right, hold on. All right, we'll let homie start respond to that. Hold on, let's cool down a bit and shout out to everybody watching. And I'm about to break out of here in a few minutes, but let's let them see respond. Hold on.
Baby, CC was not coming to play. He was not coming to play. Okay, Morocco drama.
Yeah.
Okay, I think you good then.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't hear the echo. No, I hear it a little bit.
All right,
the echo's
cool.
still there. The echo's still there.
It is still there. I don't know what's going on. I only got one thing open.
It's not that bad though.
Yeah, it's not super bad. Okay. They only understand human dynamics with sex. Everything is transactional with them. Because can you do this, Morocco drama? When you're not talking, can you mute yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. They only understand human dynamics with sex. Everything is transactional with them because that's the only way they know how to navigate social interactions. Yes, these type of people are in the spiritual basement. I don't know if y'all ever read Iyanla Van Zant's book where she's talking about like there are levels to spiritual growth. You got the spiritual basement where you just you living like an animal, completely from carnal desires, right? And you got the first floor where you starting to learn about spirituality and awaken, but you ain't really made the changes. And then like the highest level is the spiritual addict, right? Where you know how to control your earthly, desires and flesh and transcend all that. A lot of these people is operating from very carnal desires and they only see life through the lens of that. So when we're talking about higher level thinking stuff like manhood, like masculinity, because that's a spiritual thing as well, right? And the discipline that it takes to really hone that in, because it does require discipline. That's what a lot of these men don't understand. It requires manhood is not just, and I say this too, femininity, right? Is not necessarily just a complete lack of discipline. But when we start talking about the discipline it takes to really hone that in, a lot of them, when you talk to them like that, they always want to revert back to carnal desires, carnal nature. I want to hear homie. So, okay, I'm gonna play it, Magnesium.
The homie self, go ahead and respond before
I don't have anything to say. I find CC to be very amusing. He's like a professional.
I noticed.
So you had so much to say, homies hub. You didn't have anything to say when Casanova came on here and called you out, called you a bitch ass, pussy ass nigga, called you out from Sunday to Sunday. It's just, he's just amusing. But you had so much to say about me. You be so ready. If I'm on a panel, you be so ready to hop up on there and say something to me. Y'all see the difference? Y'all see how the energy is not the same? Now, him and Nak are finally going to have a back and forth. Not Nak, him and Casanova are finally going to have a back and forth. But it's like Casanova had to really keep coming at his neck for him to finally be like, oh, well, then, yeah, let's meet up. I'll drop that. Casanova went at him for so long. Mind you, if you go over to his streams, he's constantly, every opportunity he gets, he is elated and excited to go in on me.
This is true.
Elated. He can't wait. Are you going to go stalk Casanova the way you stalk me, homies hub? Go ahead. Are you going to go find him and be messaging him on Instagram and be recording his activities on TikTok and all of that? Are you going to do that to him? Or do you only reserve that energy for a woman?
You know what you got? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead, Barack Obama.
I changed my speakers around. You don't hear that buzzing no more, right?
I didn't hear any buzzing. I just hear like some light echo, but I'm gonna mute myself. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say that what you have to understand is a lot of guys got female energy. They, I one day I was I'm from New York. I was in Queens, and this two girls was fighting, one-on-one, and this dude was one of the guys. The guy that was there was his girlfriend, and I didn't know him. I slammed him. He was punching a girl, and I ran up behind him and I slammed him into the wall. And I said, "Do you realize if this was my daughter, I would effing kill you?" I said, "You don't hit no girl like that. If your girl's in a fight, you let her go at it or you pull them apart. You don't hit a girl like that. I would kill you if this was my daughter," because he was hitting her like she was a man. And so you got to understand that that's the mindset of a lot of young guys. I don't want to put too much of my business out there, but I'm old enough to be your father, and your generation. I don't know how old he is, but there's a lot of guys with family with our feminine energy, we used to call that. They raised by women, and they go at women like if they men, and that's what a lot of guys are doing. In my era, we didn't do that. If I had a problem with you, I might call my sister or something like that, or my cousin or something like that, or even tell my mother it's a female because I don't want to get in trouble for hitting a girl. But that's what you got to understand, that these guys go at women sometimes harder than they'll go at another man. So once you
that's facts. And I haven't even I haven't even told none of my family members that this stuff online is going on, because the men in my family, I'm not even gonna hold you. This ain't really what you want, sir. But I love my male family members, and they have things to lose. They have wives and kids and stuff like that. So I never involve them in anything unless it's just it's very necessary and very crucial. And I try to keep all this stuff to myself. I don't talk to my family members about any of these kind of things, but yeah. It's like, if I didn't care about my male family members like that, like if I was just thinking of myself and my feelings, and I wouldn't just think about just how bad the situation can get, Yeah, I would have been. Yeah. I would have been told then, but I haven't. But it's like, homie hubs, you don't understand it. It's people out here that's not gonna really play with you like that, to be honest.
But you know the sad thing about it though, Mariah, you shouldn't even have to, because it's enough men in this space that they shouldn't be allowing this shit to happen. Like Barack Obama said, I come from that same era. You know, we don't be bullying and beating on no women. Like I said, in the most egregious case, you go get your sister. But I come from the era, you know, I start beefing with a girl. They tell you just walk away, just ignore, say just ignore the bitch and just walk away. Fuck it. You know, it's not even worth it. You know, that's just the energy we have. We certainly would never be moved to putting our hands on them or getting in any type of physical altercation with them, because that's just wrong. And any dude around you gonna grab your ass up for that. So my point is, it should be, so like you said, in all these panels where, you know, I don't be on no panels where I let no dude talk about doing nothing to no female. Because even on the panel, as a man, it's my responsibility to check silly shit like that. If it's dudes going at dudes all day long, that's fine. If, you know, yeah, you call a man a name, he call you a name back, this, that, what, okay, I'll let that go. But as long as he ain't talking about doing no physical threats of violence to you, you know, because like I said, you know, I know you, like a lot of women, will have a mouth. So I'm not going to say, hey, he called you a couple of B words, but you done called him some BA.
Yeah,
I gotta let that go. Right.
Yeah.
But that don't mean all of a sudden now you're going to be talking about, if you was right in front of me, I'll punch you in your face. I'm like, not if I'm there.
Yeah,
not if I'm there. So know that
or just talk about me in a joke way. Yeah.
Because I just can't, you know, and I tell dudes when I went back to that conversation earlier, it's like, how do you live with yourself knowing that you as a man sat there and watched a man beat a woman like that? You should just want to kill yourself. They fucked up. Like Barack Obama said, it's like they'll be quick. They want to beat up women.
No, that's true. No. And thank you so much, Chat Lab, for your kind comments. And he said, that's why my sisters don't tell me nothing. I find out it's that time. Yeah, no.
Yep.
Like it would have to be for me to go to my male family members about, because I already know it's up. Like it's all the way up. It's all the way up. It's up and it's stuck. They like, no, you know, these Texas dudes, you know. So it's to the point where no.
This whole generation of Generation Z, whatever the fuck they are, you know, this whole, you know, wanting to fight women shit. I don't even know where this shit came from. It just is crazy. I'm glad it's not all of them. Like I said, I got 5 sons. They know I'll kill their ass if I even thought about they put their fucking hand on a woman. They got sisters and mamas. So no, they the ones that's going, like you said, crash out and ride for any of their female family members. And they don't even fuck with dudes who do no shit like that. So you couldn't do that around me. You couldn't do that shit around none of my sons. Because we fucking you up if we see you sit there and put your hand on a woman.
Yeah,
we just not letting that shit go down.
Or even just the stuff he done said about my daughter. That's real.
Yeah.
That right there, that's enough. Like,
and you don't have to be a woman you don't have to be a woman I'm sleeping with. Yeah. It don't fucking matter. You a woman.
Yeah. But that's really enough. But that's what I'm saying. I had to calm down because yesterday I was so mad. My mind was going to the most evil things, and I was like, bro, calm down, because like once you get to a certain point, it's to a certain point. Like,
does he say that on this stream?
No, he said it not on this stream. He said it on his stream that he did yesterday. That he did on what's today? Monday. He did it on Sunday. Yeah, he did. That's and I reacted to it.
You didn't actually respond to the fact that you was talking down on a beautiful black sister, especially the woman that you sitting here having a problem with. Instead of being able to have an intellectual conversation, you attacked her. You attacked her physicality, and that makes you look like a weak pussy.
See, all I know is that you got exposed for trying to get really.
You're traveling. I ain't drunk. What are you talking about? I'm so.
Well, hold on now. Don't start over talking to me now, because you don't want me to land my point.
Salute.
You see how he still won't address what Casanova is saying? Like, this is the problem. You can't have a conversation with the homies hub because he always trying to deflect and change the conversation. So with this man addressing you about being a man, steady talking down on a woman, and again, this whole shit started with you. talking down on me, right? And I didn't even know you when you was talking down on me, right? I didn't know nothing about you when you was talking down on me. So this all started from you talking down on me. You continually just make up shit and spread lies. Like, you will make up a fucking blatant lie, right? Just because it sounded good to say at that time, you will make up like ridiculous. Like somebody come on here and say you talking about I'm pregnant on your live, then I'm paying niggas for dick, right? Then I'm over here paying niggas. What else did you say? You be lying. Oh, I'm just out here fucking on all the locals, fucking on all the passport bros. Like, you just be over exaggerating. You be lying. You just be making up shit. You try to make up a situation between me and my baby daddy. Like, you just a very troubled soul. You just a lying ass narcissistic individual. So it's to the point where it's nothing that you won't, there's no end to your treachery. There's no limit to how treacherous you are. You know, and again, I've been fine with that because my mouth's sharper than yours at the end of the day. But it's to the point where you went way too low when you even brought up that comment and all that when you supposed to be talking about boxing men. You know, you should have at least, it ain't even about me. Stand up for yourself as a man and be like, I don't even fight women, bro. Then you talk about my daughter, say she got colonizer blood. You keep bringing my child into the equation. You taking you really taking shit too far, my guy. You really taking shit too far. And Casanova had every right to check your ass.
You don't want me to land my point, bro.
Land one point. Unless you're talking about what you did, I ain't trying to hear nothing that you're talking about. Because at the end of the day, when I wanted to meet up with you, you made every excuse for it not to happen. When you told me we was going to pull up and we was going to have a boxing match, you made every fucking excuse. You said you was going to box. You needed to box QB. Then that shit never happened. Then you said that you had to go back to the States. That shit never happened. Then when you finally do get back to the States, all of a sudden that you talking to another female. At the end of the day, you know what I don't like? I don't like when pussy niggas don't talk about what they doing. I don't give a fuck what you're talking about because at the end of the day, anybody I met up with I give them respect for pulling up at the end of the day. Period. Anything else that you're talking about pedo shit. You're talking about pedo shit. And at the end of the day, that sounds like you defending pedo shit.
Talking about
that's what it is. I know that you knew niggas that ain't been
talking about you being a booty
bandit. I totally understand that y'all don't really know what it is. But at the end of the day, everybody you got beef with, you didn't pull up on. You're in the same state. Y'all in the same country. You now in the same motherfucking space with everybody else that wasn't in Colombia, and you could pull up easily. What happened, my nigga? What happened?
Being a booty bandit. And this is why
you know what's crazy? Why would you even be talking about that if that's what you really believe? That means that's really what's on your mind. That's what you give a fuck about. You like that booty bandit conversation. Because instead of you talking about throwing hands, instead of you talking about, all right, no doubt. So
that's what I'm saying. Nah, Casanova, right. It's like, bro, he calling you out and you sitting over here talking about gay shit. Been calling you out the whole time. You over here talking about gay shit. What y'all think?
No, I was just saying that I was just saying to you that a lot of guys, you know, they got feminine energy. They don't have the same kind of energy when it comes to another man. And once you understand that, like what he's saying, I mean, I know you got a daughter and everything, but other than that, what he's saying would just go on one ear and out the other because he's not going to do that in most cases to another man. I mean, I know some guys that they don't care who you are, male or female. He feels that if you want to act like a man, he can treat you like one. But I'm saying overall, guys like him, I don't know him personally, so I'm not going to single him out. I don't know him, but I'm saying that type, that's what they do. They won't come at another masculine man like that.
Oh no, for sure. They not. He just coming at him with that messy high school gossip energy right now. Eventually he gonna be forced into a corner where he have to try to accept fighting him, but it took so long, is what I'm saying.
I just got one question for all the panels. Why do they take what people say on social media so seriously? I don't understand that. Like I tell people when I was on Instagram, on social media I'm Mike Tyson, in person I'm a Jehovah's Witness, because to me it's all entertainment. I don't know how it turns into the threats, because I go on I feel like I'm the greatest debater of all time on certain issues. and people start threatening me and calling me out my name when they can't win. Like I go on. You ever heard of Chaotic Truth?
Yeah, I know him.
Yeah. When I go on, I eat his people up alive, and there was a guy on there. I think his name was Black Bear or something like that. He was coming at me a little hard, and some of the people on there was coming. Not Chaotic Truth, but his panel. He had some, I guess, white supremacists because they were. I'm from New York, so I know things about Donald Trump. They support Trump. And I know things about Donald Trump that y'all don't know. Because matter of fact, I live about 4 blocks from his sister, Marianne, bless her soul, that just passed away. So when they going at it with me, they're going by what they read on social media or whatever, and I'm going by what I know because I'm from New York. So I have an insight on him. Like, for example, they didn't know he got a niece named Marianne. And I don't want to get too political, I just want to make a point. He got a niece named Marianne, and she said that when they were kids, he used to throw the N-word around the house. And she said, if I'm lying, tell my uncle to sue me, and he never sued her.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like I knew that before it became, you know what I'm saying, before it became national news because I'm out here. Like I see things that y'all don't see. So that's why I was destroying them. Because one thing about me, when I'm debating, I already have my facts and did my research. I don't just talk to be talking. So when I go, but even on there, like people, like I said, because I'm competitive by nature, but if I see you, like I ran into somebody in Sosua that called me out my name on social media. He didn't recognize it was me. I was in. You ever heard of Flip Flop Bar?
Yeah, I've been there.
Well, I know him personally. Me and him is cool. He's from New York too. I could have walked up on the dude and he called me out my name over because we was debating something, and he called me out my name because he didn't agree with something I said. But I'm not really built like that, and I don't want to get arrested in another country, of course. But that's my thing that I don't understand about social media. It's like some of these people you don't know personally, you might not have even seen personally, and why do people take the stuff so personal?
I get it, but when people cross certain lines, it get to a point, especially when you can put a name with a face. Okay, let's continue watching this.
All right, let me cut my mic.
Why you ain't sitting there trying to talk about meeting up and actually dealing with the situation at hand? I'm telling you, you pussy. I'm telling you a sucker. I'm telling you talk about women and you fucking talk about putting hands on women, and I'm gonna beat the fuck out of you when I see you in real life just on the strength of Mariah being a woman. I don't give a fuck what you talking about. I don't care that you was joking. I don't care that you was trying to make content. I'm gonna fuck you up on sight. Because you definitely, you talking about putting hands on a woman. Now talk about that bitch ass nigga.
Yeah,
all I want to say is CC has a whole documentary on YouTube.
Exactly. You ain't
this nigga, bro.
I know. The energy is off.
Bro.
The energy is way off. The energy is off.
What?
It's a different energy. I'll say that.
That's what I'm saying. Homies Hub love to do the internet messy shit, gossipy. Oh, I found some dirt on you. He loves to act like a female. But when niggas is like, fuck all of that. He not on that type of time. And it was so easy for you to get when Rob came on. You were so ready to call out Al. Because you know Al. And then I ain't even trying to talk bad about Al. Do Al look like he ready to fight? Half the time when he be on Mentuition channel, he be looking depressed. He be looking like he be wanting Steve to shut the fuck up, to be honest. He be like, damn, Steve, you always getting us into some shit. So it's like Al be look like he just out here trying to make it through the day. And you calling out Al. You know Al not as tall as you. You know
but
Al.
You know what's funny though, Mariah, is I noticed like nobody on that list of 5 people. I was like, I don't think any of them 5 people that he picked to fight said they wanted to fight him.
No.
Because I was like,
men that saying they want to fight, he not trying to fight.
Because I was like, QB Passport never said he wanted to fight him. It was QB.
I don't even think the Keith didn't accept it, and then even in
none of them said they wanted to fight him. But then the people that said they want to fight him, he don't want to fight, and I don't get. That's what's lost on me. I'm like, why pick 5 people that don't want to fight you, and ignore the ones that said they're gonna kick your ass. That's strange to me.
It ain't strange. That's I'm telling you, that's how hoe ass niggas act. Homie's Hub get destroyed on this live. It's all good. Everyone know he just crushed on you, Mariah. What up, Travel Squad? I think you came on here and got on him too. I'm gonna go back and listen to that in a minute.
Talking about the real shit because you a pussy. Because
you don't want me to talk because he got exposed.
Nobody want to hear about gay shit. That's the problem with you faggot ass niggas. You really want to talk about that faggot ass shit. You want to talk about it. You want to spin the narrative. Hey, yo, everybody in the chat, let's talk about the fact that Homie Hard want to talk about some gay shit instead of actually throwing hands. I want to see you, pussy. You in the States, pussy. Tell me where you at.
Damn.
We don't gotta wait.
Damn.
They taking it too personal.
So what?
Talk about that, nigga. Talk about that, nigga.
Because Homie's Hub, he done came on here and threatened to fight other dudes for far less disrespect.
All right, so
joking about putting hands on a female.
Didn't you get talking about
putting hands on a female? My nigga, that's what I'm gonna see you about. I don't care what you talking about.
So a man is talking about he want to fight you. Me as a woman, I ain't never did this. If a bitch tell me she trying to fight, we better fight. I ain't never sat up there telling her, well, didn't such and such whoop you? What the hell that got to do with the fact that she here right now and she want to fight? I ain't never sat up and argued with no another chick talking about what no other chick did to her.
That's true.
What that got to do with us and what we finna do?
Yeah, even if she did whoop your ass, now you got to do it.
Yeah, now you do it. Like, okay, yeah.
And then
this other chick might have whooped you. That don't mean now it's my turn. Like, what?
Yeah.
So I don't understand this type of behavior. Is this some like East Coast stuff? Is this how do East Coast? I thought
now you're going too far. Now I'm East Coast too. Now, look, I'm just gonna say this: we do have those type of niggas on the East Coast. I'm sure Barack will tell you they got some in New York. We got some down in here in DC. That ain't all of us. That ain't most of us, but that is some of us. We got to take I'm sure y'all got a couple of L's down there in Texas too. But the thing is,
we don't do all like Texas. We ain't finna be doing all that. Somebody call you out as a like what?
But what I'm figuring is in this space,
I would never fight Melissa.
Right. But in this space, what I'm realizing is sometimes, because just like Barack said, even with my big old age, I got a list of names of people that threatened me, Barack. Literally, when I see you, I'm gonna smack the shit out of you and your sons. I was like, okay. I got your face. I got your name. You gonna see me. You gonna see me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, I don't do that. I'm too old to be fighting, but I will. I ain't gonna run to my fucking body. So the fact of the matter is what I realize is some of these guys get out over their skis with their rhetoric, especially online. They get heated. And I notice in particular, the same way with you, they do the same thing with me because of my age. Or I whoop that bitch ass and I whoop that old nigga ass. Well, I don't think they're going to whoop your ass without you putting hands on them. And they sure ain't going to whoop my ass without me putting hands on them.
But I may not whoop them, but they're going to have a hard time whooping me. That's what I'm just sitting there saying. So that's why I tell them, look, y'all need to stop issuing these threats of violence because I take them very seriously. I really do. I don't play that shit. I don't threaten anybody. I don't want to fight nobody. But if you make me feel uncomfortable, you ain't gonna want to be in my fucking presence.
Yeah, but where are they gonna see you at? You on social media? Where they
run into each other. They run into each other.
Yeah, because I travel to the DR frequently. So I'm telling you, if they come to the DR, they'll see me, and I'm all over the island.
Yeah, but then you got to remember too, if you get into that's another country. If you get into something over there, it's different than getting in trouble in your own country.
But I won't be by myself. I'll be with.
No, that's not the point.
Right, I know. I'm just saying because first of all, they're threatening me. So
no, that
I
don't.
ain't
When you
with
get
no intention but self-defense. That's
no,
it.
when you get when you get it's what you're not getting is when you get arrested. It's a lose-lose situation.
It is.
If you get into something like we was in, you ever heard of that? You've been to that club? What's the name of that club? That main club there?
In what city?
In Sosua. I forget the name, but the one that closed down. I forget the name of it. But the main club, we was in there. I was in there with Classico. I was in Classico with some Brooklyn dudes, and we got into a beef with some other Americans. I don't know where they was from. Other Black Americans, and we was getting ready to go outside and scrap. And what it was, my boy kind of made me angry because I thought it was some beef because they was looking at each other, then it escalated. But my boy told me he was walking up Pedro Casante with a girl, and the dude grabbed her ass, and he didn't say nothing to her. I said, well, you should have went at him then. Why you wait till we get in the club? We out here. We was out at a Halloween party about 6 years ago, and we was all out there together. And then he told me what the real story was, that the guy grabbed the girl that he was with. I felt that you should have addressed that at that time. Right. Don't wait 4 or 5 years later and it's brewing, and then you got other people in it. Because if we got into something, we all could have got arrested for something stupid. But there was a Dominican guy. Matter of fact, he got arrested for stabbing somebody. His name was I forget his name. Light-skinned Dominican dude. He came and he told the other Americans, or those my peoples, you don't want me to come back in here with a Dominican crew. And then the security guards saw what happened, and they threw the guy out. But when I got to the bottom of the story, I was mad with my boy. I said, well, when he grabbed the girl's butt at that time, why didn't you address it then when it was just you and him? Yeah. You wait till we got 40 dudes in there, because it was what happened was he invited me to a party, right? And I knew more people at the party than he knew, because I knew people that was there that he didn't know. I ran into people from my job. I didn't even know he was going down there. I just went down there on a humble to a Halloween party or something like that. And but I just say, like, when I know somebody don't like me, because like I said, I got friends and family that got killed over nonsense. Right. And I hate to say it, in a way, it's black on black crime. If you kill another black man, you destroying a black family. Right. Or a Latino man. Or if you kill another black or Latino kills you, so that's why when I know it's that kind of smoke, I don't feed into it.
Well, see, I get it. I'll say this, Barack. Okay, well, one thing, they won't see me in Sosua because that's the one city on the island I don't go to. I've been once. It was some nigga shit to me. I won't go back. I just, to me, I don't get what they saw about it. I'm usually Santo Domingo, Santiago, Punta Cana, La Romana, better cities. I only say that because, again, you're absolutely right. I'm just saying that I make sure that wherever I go, because I'm loved on the island, because I do a lot of things for people on the island. A lot. That people are not going to let anything happen to me. So that's why I tell guys, it'd be to your benefit, because I'm a lifeline to a lot of motherfucking people over there. They want me to live to 150 for shit that I do. So I'm like, because I'm helping families and helping people over. That's what me and my wife do. So stop threatening people over some dumb shit. Okay. But I'm free to go wherever I want to go.
I know that's right.
All I was saying.
Okay, for sure. All right, that was good dialogue about that. I want to address this. In my opinion, Mariah versus Melissa needs to happen. I would never fight Melissa. Like, it's one thing to go back and forth with her on here, but y'all can't say she not like that. And she very, she really not like that. She very and I just would never, I wouldn't feel right. Same way how I said I wouldn't fight that girl Valentina, that Colombian girl, that little bitty Colombian girl that they were saying I should call out. I would never. If I feel like I'm just gonna just whoop somebody, like I don't, and that's what I'm saying. Me as a woman, I know not to try to fight women that are weaker than me. So it's like, as a man, why you keep trying to pick on dudes that you know is not really coming with that? That's what I don't understand about the homie tub, because I wasn't raised like that. Let's continue.
about? You in the
somebody
States.
already packed
I don't
you up.
care what you talking about. You in the
got packed up
States.
already,
Any
bro.
nigga in the sector talk about putting hands on females, I'ma handle directly, nigga. Because no matter what, I represent the chat. And nobody in the chat talk about putting hands on females.
He just keep on. Didn't you get bit? That's what I'm saying. What that got to do with him calling you out right now? And I don't even know if that be true, but what that got to
Mariah, you here? Because I think you froze.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I don't hear her.
Her froze.
Yeah, I think she froze. I thought for a second, I said, what the hell happened? Her Wi-Fi been acting a little crazy back and forth today.
Do y'all do?
Yeah, she'll come back in.
Yeah, she went on her own. That's weird.
Yeah, it's her Wi-Fi, so she'll come back in. She did that earlier today. Yeah, I just was disappointed to hear they went after her daughter. I don't know why. A lot too many people. I don't know why they just. I understand why they feel a little bit away that they do about, but I really think it's unfair, and I think they're really trying to bully her just because she's a woman.
Well, you have that, but like I said, I mean, for me, if I was her, I just wouldn't have no real contact with them, because that's kind of dangerous when you're going out of women like that.
Yeah, but I mean, like ever since she's been in this space, like I came across her content just giving regular observation when she was still in Colombia. And then dudes was getting all upset that she was talking about it. I'm like, all she doing is telling what she sees. And what she was given a description of the same shit that I would hear a dude content creator say the same thing. So I see a dude content creator in Parque Yeras filming and saying, oh, they doing this, they doing that, they doing this, they doing that. Rah, 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 everybody's happy with this dude. She may be there a week later, say the exact same thing, and I mean, they dragging her for filth. And I'm like, but she said the same thing that the dude said a week ago. What's the difference?
I guess they look at it where it's coming from.
Right. That's what I was trying to say. I was like, so is the only thing because it's a woman saying it, and they would be like, yeah, because it's a man's space. I say, but then I would ask them, but the whole point is, y'all doing this shit in public for the whole world to see.
Yeah, I mean,
so you can't say I don't want women looking at me doing this crazy shit outside on the sidewalk when everybody can see it. It's like, this is what they're reporting on. They're reporting on not what y'all doing in your hotel room, not what you're doing in the club. They're mostly in the club. A lot of stuff they're reporting on stuff that they were, because Parque Years are like, y'all outside in the park. How you gonna say it's men's business if you're doing it outside in the park?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem with the Passport Brothers, but I think sometimes they exploit this in a bad way.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of looks like they going out there. I'm not saying all of them, because I don't know them personally, but it looks like they going out there and trying to get these girls for using money.
That's most of them.
Yeah, but
that is most of them. I ain't gonna say it's all of them, but it's clearly most of them. They have whole little Facebook groups, secret WhatsApp chats. They passing around the stuff that you see offline is 1,000 times worse than what you would see online. So that's what most of them are doing and going for. And then the guy that was on Raise earlier tonight, nice enough guy, but he was promoting parties And you would have to be a fool to believe that they weren't sex parties. That's just what they were.
Yeah, as
So
long
it's
as they
like,
women,
come on.
preferably in their 20s and 30s. I don't really like that 18, even though that's legal over there, the teenager thing. I just got a little bit of a problem with that.
Yeah.
But if they're grown women in their 30s, 30s and 40s, maybe even 20s, that's not too bad.
Right.
But I don't, because like I said, their laws are a little different.
Yep.
Than the States.
That's where the dude got in trouble, because I've been telling them for years that while you can do these things, what these countries, in particular Brazil, DR, and Colombia says is, yes, we have hoes. Yes, we don't care about you sleeping with them. Yes, we don't care about that. But what we don't want is this to be promoted. We don't want the image of our country to be promoting prostitution, even though prostitution is legal. And for whatever reason, these guys just believe I can go over there, I can film it, and I can tell the world, I don't care what they say, I'm an American. I'm like, no, you're promoting prostitution. That's what they made crystal clear. You can't promote it. They do it anyway. Then when they start getting cracked down and start getting stereotyped and black men not being let in and all this other kind of stuff, then they want to start screaming and hollering about oh, they being unfair to us, they being racist, they come up with all this dumb shit, and I'm like, but they've been telling y'all for years.
Yeah, they don't that's what I'm saying, that's not, like, I don't agree with that, because it's making it look like if I'm going to Colombia, that's what I'm going for. Instead of it just being like, because I like to take my trips in the winter. So no matter where it is, Florida or the Caribbean, I like to be where it's warm. And then in the States on the East Coast, from like May to like September, October, we got pretty warm weather.
Right.
So that's why I do it. And but like I said, what they're doing, what they're promoting, I don't know if I agree with that.
Right.
Because it's not a good look.
And that's why I think most of the people, and then believe it or not, there are guys that live in these countries who then they end up having to catch the brunt of, I'm a black man, you a black man. We know how the world works. If one black man do something and it's negative, they're going in their mind, the greater society, they're going to think every black man is capable of doing the same thing. They're going to look at you that way until you prove otherwise. Is it fair? No. But is that the way the world is? Yes.
Well, you know what happened when I was in Sosua? I was in a car with a lawyer. He had to go pick up something, and there was a truck, 2 trucks full of they looked like tourists, and they looked like they were like middle-aged men. They were like over 40 and up. You know what they was in trouble for?
What's that?
They were all white. They were this is the loophole in pedophilia in DR. They had rented out an Airbnb, and what happened was the locals noticed there was too many older looking dudes going into a house with young looking. It almost looked like you with your kids or your grandkids. And what the lawyer told me was that they was getting prosecuted, and then they was gonna be they had whatever time they had or whatever they had to pay, they had to do it there.
Yeah.
And then they couldn't come back to the island. It was almost like an Epstein Island type thing. But I mean, that's crazy to me that where people will do that in another. I don't even do that in my own country, but to do that somewhere else and they got all them different laws, that was crazy to me. There was white Americans, Canadians, and I heard Europeans. And I didn't see a black or Latin face. It was older white men, and they said that they was there. Like it looked like they was on a tourist truck, but it was a truck bringing them back to the precinct.
They got quite a few foreigners locked up in the DR. Now, and we also know of one very well-known black guy that's locked up in Brazil, the dude Floyd. I know you know. Have you know about him?
I heard the rumors. I heard he got in some kind of trouble over there.
Yeah, yeah. He's been credibly accused of messing with young children, and he's black.
But if he gets convicted of that, he gonna do time, and it's different than doing time here.
He gonna do ever. He gonna do ever.
And somebody told me when you get in that kind of trouble, they tell your like the United Nations, they tell him, well, he gonna be prosecuted here, and then after he do his time, they're gonna send him back.
Yeah. Yeah, he gonna do ever in Brazil. He better hope he get home. But ain't no telling what they gonna do to him down there, because he got, real dirty, but it's like the US government knows he's there. I'm pretty sure, and I told people he's credibly accused, and I'm pretty sure the US government has looked at the information, because if they thought you didn't do it, they would be fighting for your release. But if they're not fighting for your release, these countries will show that if you're a U.S. citizen, you get locked up in China or somewhere like that, the U.S. consulate get to come see you, and that government will say, this is what we got them locked up for, and this is some of the evidence we got. And then the U.S. government go, okay, do your thing. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not going to fight with you out if you're dirty.
Yeah, but here's the gray area. How do we know that it's not trumped up charges?
Well, in this case with this one guy, they got video.
No, I'm saying in general.
It's like 50-50. You know what I'm saying? It could be. It's 50-50. It's never 100 until you go to court. But they're not gonna let your ass. What they're not gonna let you do is get on a plane and go back to the U.S. because they know you ain't coming back. That's what they're not gonna do.
What they want to, I guess they want you to do the time, but in America, I know law enforcement and DAs and stuff had lied on people, and not saying that it's like that overseas, but they lied and people got in trouble, and they even had stuff on, like in what happened in Indianapolis. I don't want to go pander on it too long. This cop said a young guy pointed a gun at her. They locked him up. They looked at the videotape. He never pointed a gun at her. He did have a gun, but it was registered. So they had to let him go. But that took 5 days. So, and then when you're in jail, sometimes you can catch another charge, because if you get into it with another goon and you break his jaw, now you face another charge.
That's true.
I don't know how it is in those other countries, but that's how it is here. So I don't trust no kind of law enforcement personally.
Right. I mean that's fair enough, but still, if you get charged with something credibly, in the U.S. and they do also pretty much the same thing in other countries. If they think they got enough evidence, they're gonna hold you until they get to the bottom of it. It's not.
And I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know how those countries are, because in my state, if you got medical issues, they take care of you. I don't think that those countries, like let's say you got diabetes.
Oh no, they ain't doing that.
That's what I'm saying. So what are they going to do? Are they going to hold you and let you die, or are they going to let you? That's what I'm saying. It's a great idea.
I'm telling you, if it's DR whatever, they gonna hold your ass, and you ain't getting no special treatment. Matter of fact, those countries don't even feed you.
That's what I'm saying. So how you supposed to eat?
You better hope some family bring food to your ass.
Yeah, that's bad.
That is not made up. That is real.
No, that's what I heard too. But I'm saying, like, that's inhumane though.
I guess, like you said, don't get your ass locked up over there, right?
Well, that's why I don't. That's why I'm not a passport bro like that, because I don't like, even in America, you can go from state to state and there's different laws. Me and this cop that I grew up with, we bumped heads and got into a heated debate, because he's always saying ignorance of the law is not an excuse. So I threw some questions at him from one state to the next, and he couldn't even answer. I said, you law enforcement, and you couldn't answer that. So how you expect the ordinary Joe from another country to answer, or to know what the law is? That's what I don't like about traveling.
Right.
Like you don't know what their laws are. Because if I go over there and I got a health condition, they should either try to work out something or let me go back where I'm from, even though I might have broke the law, was accused, because that's like inhumane.
But then that's why I would say, and you're right about that. But one, we know they're not going to do that. I haven't heard of a country on the planet that's going to let you break a law and let you go no matter what the circumstances. And they have very harsh treatment. But that's why I would say, like you said, traveling itself is pretty much a privilege. And I would definitely, like you say, advise anybody prior to them traveling that they educate themselves on traveling, how to conduct themselves, what to expect, just and I think, in this space you see a lot of guys just jump on a plane, they go to all these countries and they say things like, "Oh, I'm gonna do what I want," just that, and I'm like, all right, and a lot of guys get in trouble. They get in trouble because of their ignorance about these other countries, or they think I'm an American, they can't do that to me. And there's a lot of guys locked up overseas right now with that belief.
Yeah, because if you got a certain kind of ailment and they don't have the resources, I think that it makes that arrest a gray area, because what are you supposed to do? If you're on vacation, you taking a whole bunch of heart pills, and you're on vacation, you get caught up in something. So it might even be something you can't control. Now you can't get back to your country. They're gonna just let you die in there.
I ain't never seen nobody walk for no reason. And I mean, I haven't known anybody that was in there necessarily sick. But I've never seen nobody walk for no, if it's like, I mean, hell, they keep you if you got a medical bill and they ain't letting you leave the country. You have a car accident in the DR, so like I got a car over there, so I had that special insurance, so that especially by you being a foreigner, if I in a car accident, somebody get hurt, so that they don't even hold me in jail, they'll hold me in an Airbnb. Because like if you a foreigner and you in a car accident over there, I had to get a special insurance for my car that's over there to cover. Because if I end up in a car accident, it's gonna be my fault because I'm the foreigner. That's how they play this shit anyway. They can run into the back of me and really mess themselves up. They gonna say, "Oh, he stopped too short," some bullshit like that. That's how they roll. But I have to make sure I have the insurance to keep me out of jail behind a car accident because somebody got hurt. Because they're always looking to either get money out of you, how much money we can get, and the quickest way that they really try to get money out of foreigners is with threat of incarceration. Don't throw your ass in jail till you shake some money loose.
Yeah, that's the downside of going abroad that I don't like. You got to be extra careful.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, more careful than where you're from, because of the way the laws might be. Unless you, of course, got diplomatic immunity. And sometimes I wish I had that.
Yeah.
Not that I want to go over there and be abusing my power, but just something, peace of mind in case something happens.
Yeah, that's the only exception, because I know here in DC, we've had a couple cases where family members of a diplomat killed somebody and got to leave.
Yeah,
I mean that's how strong that shit is.
Yeah, but it could be, but a diplomat, it could be, like you could be a humble diplomat and like it might have been an accident.
Mm-hmm.
But if you do something on purpose, that's why I got an issue with that.
Right.
But if you just going somewhere and you get into a car accident, or somebody forces to accuse you of something you didn't do, because you know what happened in DR? This guy was telling me, and it probably happened other places, but I know it happened in DR. This guy told her brother to hit her, the bruise marks, and they called the cops and said the boyfriend did it. And he got in trouble.
See, my fear in the DR is the greatest risk there is driving, because it's like it's the country with the highest amount of traffic fatalities in the world.
Well, that's usually motorcycle.
It's like 80% motorcycle, but it's cars, it's motorcycles, then followed by pedestrian. You'd be surprised at how many people get hit and killed crossing the damn road because they don't necessarily cross at crosswalks or whatever. But that's definitely, but they do have a lot of car accidents too. So because they do, in addition to the motorcycles, is there's a shit ton of drunk driving in the DR too. And you do know that, right? They all of them, they be high as a kite driving. They be killing people in the buses with tourists and shit. The bus drivers and the tour drivers be coked up, trying to rush and drive over and over and over and flipping trucks and killing tourists and whatnot. So it is a lot of motorcycles because that's the main mode of transportation, but they do a lot of killing in cars too. They do.
Yeah, but you gotta hope that hopefully that if you do get into something, they don't hold you over.
You better hope ain't nobody hurt. If somebody hurt, they holding you.
Yeah, I mean.
And the only thing I had to do was I had to get the insurance to say, okay, well, even if you do hold me till it's resolved, I don't have to get held in the jail.
Right.
So they'll let you do that. They'll be like, okay, we take your passport, you stay here, boom, boom, boom. But certain places they'll take you. But if you don't have that, you staying in the jail.
Even if it's not your fault?
It's gonna be your fault if you're the foreigner. But even if it ain't your fault, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, even if it ain't your fault. But if you the foreigner, it's gonna be your fault if it ain't your fault.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I mean that's just if anybody that knows and goes, that's just the way shit is.
Yeah.
It's not a lot of these countries, it's not gonna be. That's the one thing I guess part of traveling, you got to get out your mind that it ain't gonna be. You've been to DR. It ain't nothing like the States like people think. I'm like, it's just not. Some things are the same, but when it comes to their laws, that should be totally different. But like you said yourself, that's why you don't want to get in no trouble. You don't want to, the people in those countries, they stick together and they always is them against you, the foreigner. And that's not just USA. If you're from Canada, Europe, whatever, and they see an ATM. All right, let's get these motherfuckers for as much as we can.
That's unfortunate.
It is, but it just, I mean, you check with anybody else that that travel. They'll pretty much tell you.
No, I heard that. I've heard that.
Yeah, it is. And I wouldn't discourage you from going Durham. It's just the fact that that's how those countries are set. I mean, everywhere in the DR, like I speed in the DR. I get stopped by the police 100 times, and you know what? I get away every time because they want to bribe. It's a country where police take bribes, like in broad fucking daylight. They don't hide it. They sit there and be talking to you with their hand out to you, put a little something in their hand, then they let you go.
Yeah, but I don't. That's one thing. But if I'm not breaking no laws, I don't feel like I should have to give them anything.
Right. But I'm just saying it speaks to the mindset of how they think. So if they will openly take bribes, then when you're in an accident, they'll openly fuck you to also leverage to try to get money out of you. They'll just do it. So it's like you got to ask yourself, well, how hard do you want to fight this shit? You got time. They got more time. You got money. They got more time. And they'll wear your ass out with time and bullshit until you finally say, you know what I got to get this motherfucker to get out of here. I'm sick of this shit.
We'll just say you want, I don't know, you just say you want, I guess, diplomatic immunity. I don't know.
Yeah. That would be the golden ticket, wouldn't it? Yes, sir, Lee.
That's what I'll be a little bit uncomfortable. A little bit, not big time, because that's just a small thing, but you don't want to, you don't want to get caught up in nothing and get arrested in another country.
No.
That's why I told you, like I said, if I had, like the way that guy was talking to the other guy, if they run into each other out there and then, you get in trouble, it's not worth it to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You want to beat up somebody because you don't agree with what he or she said. I mean, let them say what they want to say. That don't bother me. Everybody's different. I guess Mariah never came back up.
Nah, I don't say. Somebody said something about her power might be out. So
yeah, they have a lot of outages out there. I think she don't have a backup generator, or you don't know.
I don't know that. I don't know if she has inverters at because I think she's at an Airbnb. I'm not sure, and she may not. But I do know that they be having a lot of blackouts from Europe.
Yeah, she said. Well, I don't know exactly what the situation is where she lives at. I know when I was outside of Susu in the outskirts, that happened a lot. You know of any in Susu? You know of any like charities that people can go to get food?
You mean like a Dominican from a?
Yeah, for Dominican people. I know some Dominicans saying they be telling me they don't have no food in the house.
Nah, I don't.
Because I had a falling out with a couple of guys. They think that I'm sleeping with these people. I said, no, these are girls I know that got kids or men that got kids and they don't have no real income and they trying to get food. Everybody, I don't know why people think you sleeping with somebody just because you're trying to help them out. I don't get it.
Right. Yeah, because I don't see. I mean, the church is there in the DR, but you don't see churches like everywhere like you do here in the States. Because that's the only first thing I think of. But you don't see like government agencies where they hand out food. I got a friend of mine tell me that they give like a little debit card every month to the poor people, but it's like $25. So that ain't, the people you talking about probably already used it.
25. You can't do nothing with $25 when you got kids.
Is that or nothing?
No. It's better than nothing. But you can't even over there. That's nothing over there. That's like maybe $75 for us. $100 maybe. That's not a lot of money. So I've been to the stores in the outskirts. It's cheaper than in town. But it's you can't live off that. You need some real money to live off, especially if you got kids.
Yeah, that'll feed you one day, maybe two if you lucky.
Yeah.
And then that's gone.
Yeah, I feel bad for some of the stuff. I went in the outskirts and where their poor is, like living in huts and all that.
Yeah.
That's kind of sickening to me.
Mm-hmm.
No air conditioning and all that heat.
The tin roof, dirt floor, might be wood, sides, brick, hot as hell. If it's in certain areas, every year it floods and then the house might get washed away and you got to rebuild again.
I don't understand why their governments are not trying to help. When I was in Sosua, there was a lot of solid stuff that was like abandoned. Why don't they fix that up and let them live there? I didn't understand that. We just live in a world. I just think people just don't care about people.
That's true.
Because what I saw, even in America, is nobody should. We had in my city, during the cold season, we had about 25 homeless die in the cold.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah.
They didn't have nowhere to live.
I mean, the DR. Like I said, I've never been to Colombia. The DR can be pretty fucking cruel.
No, that's the whole Caribbean is like that.
Yeah.
It ain't just DR. But I'm just saying, like, I don't know why people don't try to help out other people. I don't understand it. That's what I don't get.
Yeah, I mean, I know, I help out as much as I can when I go. There's a lot of Haitian communities that's like completely assed out because as poor as you see the Dominicans are, the Haitians got it even worse. Then you got their political divisions back and forth between them, even though they're on the same island.
Right.
They're fighting and scrapping for resources, limited resources, hospitalization, jobs. It's just and then it's an island full of have and have nots. So you got some parts of Santo Domingo where hell you think you in Manhattan because there's so much wealth and money and privilege. You got some parts of that in Santiago and Punta Cana. And you can see some parts of it in some parts of Sosúa, in the Sosúa area, like Seahorse Ranch and some parts of Cabarete and so forth, where it's like there's a lot of wealth and money. And then you got other parts where it's like you might as well be in fucking Haiti because it's so poor.
I don't understand that. But I mean, to me, it comes back to man's greed, I guess.
Yeah. They talked about the place right in the capital in Santo Domingo. I don't know if you ever saw it, them houses down there by the Azuma River, where they got those people living right there on the edge of the water, and it's like, my God, and that's like right in the heart of the city.
Nobody don't care about, but we have that here too. I think was it Baltimore? You said you live in D.C.
Yeah.
Well, there was a lady. I don't know if you ever heard of Kim Klacik.
Yeah, I heard of her in Baltimore.
She was talking about the Democrats won't fix up a certain area and it's still messed up over there.
That's in Baltimore, but it ain't. I mean, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Well, it's easy to say because Baltimore has been Democrats for the last fucking 100 years. But
no, I'm not. That's not my point. No, my point is whoever's there, whether they be Republican or Democrat, they're not fixing that area.
Right. That's what I was getting ready to say. It don't matter which side it is. I know she's big on the political front. There are parts of Baltimore that's like, of course they, like with every major city, they started with downtown on the water. So on the harbor, they built all that shit up. That's where the Ravens Stadium, the Orioles, all that. That's where they're gonna do all the investment and build it out. Then they built all up there, Fells Point by John Hopkins, all those areas. And you still got little pocket areas where it's still high poverty, low income, dilapidated housing. It is as bad as she describes it. But
no, what I'm saying, but nobody. That's what I'm saying. Nobody's. I don't understand why nobody like. I'm just using that as an example.
Mm-hmm.
Why is nobody doing nothing about that? I don't understand.
I mean, I don't know. To be honest with you, I'm trying to think to give you an honest answer. I really don't know. We got little areas still in DC where while they have gentrified a lot of it, they haven't gentrified all of it. So there's a particular area, Kenilworth, that's still run down. And I think, like they, the gentrification game plan is sometimes you let an area get so economically depressed, everybody eventually will have to move the fuck out. And then what do? They have a big developer come in, tear the shit down, and redevelop, and then put $1 million apartments or some shit like that up. Because that's what I see that as being the long play. But when they do have those areas like that, they'll let them stay torn down for 5-10 years.
I just don't get it.
And just let the rats take over, and then they'll decide they'll come in and want it.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That seems like it's a worldwide thing. It seems like even here in America, which America, they said they spent 30 billion on that war so far in Iran or Kuwait or whatever. And if that money was spent here, we could have fixed up, half of the United States.
Yeah, that's true.
The Ukraine war and this war,
And Iran.
Ukraine, Iran, Israel, with all that money that they spent, you could have gave the Black Americans reparations. You could have gave the people student loans. Could have relieved them of that. Could give people money to pay their houses off. I don't understand what America's doing.
Let me see if I can. Lee Majors. Yeah, I see what you're saying, and I remember it. The situation you were saying about Zuckerberg and Elon Musk with their beef. The boxing match that got brought up by the white guy Rob. He came up with the idea of the boxing match, and I think that was supposed to be between the white guy Robert and the particular male content creators that had went after him and his wife. That was what he proposed, and he actually proposed it for charity. So I think that's where that came from. I don't think it's supposed to have nothing to do with between Mariah. I just know on one stream, homies messing around with his subscribers made a joke about fighting her. So that was done in poor taste. But then again, and then subsequently, he made a joke yesterday about her daughter, which is also in poor taste. I don't know. I just think sometimes he gets a little bit impulsive and he says things before he think it through. But I don't think there's no intention for Mariah to be fighting anybody. Nobody wants to see her fight. Nobody really wants to see Robert fight anybody in a boxing match. Robert decided to call them out because they harassed his wife and they went after him and they had his all his social media shut down. So he said, rather than keep arguing back and forth online, how about we do a charity boxing match? And put in my mind kind of like the celebrity charity boxing matches. You know what I'm saying? Where you see like an old Todd Bridges fight somebody else, and then the money goes to help poor people. So I say for that, yeah, I'll be worth getting my old ass whooped, if you can raise some money, like you said, like Barack said, to help somebody, that'd be worth it. So at least all this nonsense that people are talking can actually be useful and put to some good use.
Well, where would they do the boxing at?
At Flips, not in Flips,
on that
park,
strip,
but in Sasua. Because they do boxing up there in Sasua. There's some guys
locals or whatever they used to do it in there.
And
I went to a fight in there.
Yeah, I think they do a thing called boxing on the beach. So I think they even set the ring up on the beach or something.
Yeah.
So that's one place, and he's got contacts with somebody in Santo Domingo. So he was like, we can do some in Santo Domingo, and we can do some in Sasua and raise money.
I don't think they would make as much money in Santo Domingo that they would in Sosua. I think Sosua got a bigger sports crowd.
Yeah, so I'm not sure. Well, they're doing the Caribbean games there in Santo Domingo now.
What games is that?
That's the game between all the Caribbean countries. It's like a little miniature Olympics.
No, but what sports?
Oh, they're doing everything. They're doing boxing, diving, tennis, track, everything. It's like a miniature Olympics, but it's held in the DR this year because they had teams from Cuba, all the Caribbean islands, and some of the Latin American countries. So it's called the Caribbean Games.
I heard about them, but I don't know. I didn't know specifically what sports it was.
Yeah, it's going on. I don't know all of them, but it's going on right now. They're doing soccer too. and they're doing a lot of it in Santo Domingo because they refurbished that new stadium in Santo Domingo.
Because nobody's YouTubing it.
Right. I think, but I think that because it's the Caribbean games, I think it's being YouTube. Yeah, that would be somewhere where somebody could go get some great content, but they don't seem to be interested in it. And a lot of the events, from me talking to my guy, my Dominican buddy, he said a lot of the events are free. You don't even have to pay to go in. So you get in free, and so it is being streamed on Dominican channels.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah. So like I think some you can look for like the Caribbean games, and there's a couple of probably Dominican and maybe Jamaican and Cuban content creators are
Yeah, I'm surprised nobody made a content about it, or if there is, I don't know about them.
Yeah, I'm trying to see.
Because the World Cup was crazy. That brought out all of the crazy people.
Yeah, they got a couple. Yeah, I'm looking at a couple. But it's the Spanish channels. But yeah, nobody's doing it in English.
That's okay. I need to practice with it anyway. You don't know no Spanish?
No.
Because I saw Mariah learned it. She's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I should know it. My wife is Hispanic.
Oh, your wife's Puerto Rican?
No, she's Salvadorian.
Oh. Yeah, they speak. That's all they speak in their houses, in their household, right? Spanish.
No, they speak English too. I mean, mine do with me because she know my ass don't speak Spanish. So, but when she's with her family, they speak Spanish. I mean, I can learn. I just been lazy.
She's here in America.
Yeah. Let's see. That's where I met her at. I didn't meet her overseas.
Yeah, because when the Americanized ones, they're a little bit difficult to get along with.
Not really. I mean, they just like an American woman. 100%.
Yeah, American women got
100%. They the same
rights. Yeah, American women they got more rights than American men.
Right, but I'm saying, and so I'm agreeing with you 1,000%. Just because she's from El Salvador or Mexico, once they get into America, they change. So just believe that. But when I met her, she was already changed. So it's not I didn't have to go through no wake up. Oh, you done changed on me. Like, no. So, I'm used to dating American women. She just Salvadorian, but she's American all the way through. It ain't make no difference to me.
Yeah, American. Yeah, that's why a lot of guys, not me personally, but I hear a lot of guys saying that the culture, like sometimes when you go to those Caribbean islands or like Africa, the women are more subservient than American women got too much masculine energy.
But would you agree? I agree that that's true to a point, but and I always try to reference it and frame it from the point of the DR, because that's the country I know the most. DR and El Salvador, and I know the DR the most. Got a home there, this, that, whatever, and I go frequently. But when I go to the DR, so much as I do now, and for what I see and experience, they're becoming very Americanized too, even on the island.
Yeah, but that's what's messing it up.
But I'm right. But I'm saying you can't stop it though, right? So
no, it's messing. When I say messing it up, like they I went to a certain area, they're getting gentrified. Yeah, they got the American, I would say the white American and maybe the Canadian and the European culture, and they come just like A-Rod. I don't know if you saw it. A-Rod was looking to invest in the areas over there, but what they investing in, it's not going to benefit the Dominican people that's there.
I know.
They're making everything where they can't afford to live there. So how's that good? That's what I mean when I said is the Americanized culture over there. If you don't come from money, it's not making it better.
Right.
That's it's only making it better because this American Dominican got agitated with me because they was putting up these new condos about 10 years ago in Sosua. And I just happened to ask, I said, well, all of these people that work here, they can't even afford to live over here. How's that good? She got agitated when I said that.
Yeah, they don't care.
No, I know, but that's what I mean. America's like that. That's what's messing up. That's what's messing up America. You're gonna have the haves and the have-nots.
Yeah, and it'll be Dominicans because they want money, so they don't care. They have the same level of greed that we have in America. I call DR Little America. Exactly. I see in so many ways across the board, all over the island. I'm like, they're the same. They just speak Spanish, but they're the same. They're the have and the have not, the greed, all that stuff. It's the same in a lot of ways. In more ways than not.
They don't. It's getting to the point where they don't care about people.
I don't disagree. Yeah, we say that. I say that all the time.
Like what happens to you? It's like we're going into in another generation. We're going into what happened to humanity kind of mindset.
Yeah.
Because I'm seeing that. Yeah, well, I see it here in the States, but I'm starting to see that mindset is starting to branch out. People don't care about each other.
Yeah, just the only thing is like, I don't have a solution for it. You know, you wish you could change it, but you know, I
have a solution for it. You put people, make people a priority over money.
Who's going to do that though?
I don't know who's going to do it, but that's the solution.
Well, until absent the person and people that's going to do it, is not it is a solution that I could agree with, but absent these noble beings that's going to up and decide that I'm going to make sure that this happens and I'm going to put this into place and into effect, it'll just never happen. Because, you know, that's the flaw of man. You know, we got that greed gene, that selfish gene, you know, all these flawed genes that will override an altruistic motive to help someone else and just want to do for self first.
But I heard that's what they did in China. They took 95% of their people out of poverty with socialist programs. Capitalist programs will never work because they only work for the rich. They'll never work for the. That's why in my state we got this new mayor named Muslim dude, Mandami or whatever they call him. Mm-hmm. He's pissing off a lot of the rich because he's coming in with socialistic ideology, mm-hmm. and he's putting socialism means you're making the people a priority. Capitalism means you're making the money a priority. So he's bumping heads with them because that's what socialism is. The socialist societies have, I don't know if you notice it, they have less like homeless than capitalist societies. I don't know if you realize that.
No, I didn't. But
yeah, like Canada. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Canada, London, they look after their people that don't have a lot. Like they don't have like America's homeless problem might be the biggest now that it's ever been.
Yeah.
Because nobody's doing nothing about it. California and New York are probably the worst in the world, where the people don't have nowhere to live. I think they call it in California. I think they call it Skid Row.
Yeah.
And they got a lot of, and they trying to throw them out of there, but where they gonna go? Yeah. They're living in tents, living in cars, living on cardboard boxes. Where they gonna go?
Yeah, California got a lot of issues though.
New York too, but I'm just saying that those two. I think those two states probably got the most homeless in the world, or at least in the United States. I don't want to say in the world, but I think it is in the world.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody's doing nothing about it.
Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna have to drop off here.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah, because it's like I was trying to wait to see if Mariah was gonna get back on, but obviously, I think she might have lost her power. But it was definitely good chopping it up with you, sir. I appreciate the conversation. It was good. I think I learned a few things tonight.
Me too. Same here. Yeah.
But we'll do this again when Miss Mariah gets squared away and get her.
Yeah, she didn't. The only thing I didn't like that night. That night when she was talking, I don't know if you saw it when she was talking about the pedophilia. I was in the back room for like 40 minutes. She never came me up.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Was it over here on this?
Yeah, but only thing like my speaker sometimes makes that noise. But when I'm not talking, I'll mute myself.
Okay.
You know, we can hear it, but she never that night because that was a It was a little hostile because one of the dudes had said, I don't want to talk to you too much, but one of the dudes had said, well, once a girl's 18, it's fair game.
Yeah.
But it's like, that's like borderline pedophilia.
Me and her said that is, if you fuck an 18-year-old, you'll fuck a 17-year-old.
Right. That's not, but technically, because like I said, that's what Hugh Hefner used to do that, and nobody had a problem with it.
I think I would never say nobody, because there are people that had a problem with it that didn't have any power to do anything about it.
That's what I mean. The powers that be was like they grown women.
Right.
Yeah. But one thing I say about him, he kept it. You know, he kept them 20. You know, they were like 20-year-olds.
Yeah.
So if you 40 and you sleep with a 20-year-old, even though she could be your daughter, it's not illegal.
Right. Hugh Hefner's ass should have been in jail too. And that's the problem is even in this space, there are too many guys that will still make an argument for wanting to sleep with 18-year-olds because it's legal. And I'm like, dude, y'all gotta stop dying on that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's not illegal, it's immoral.
Right. And so but it's right. So it doesn't even have to be illegal. It's like it looks weird to me to see a man of your age or my age to even want to be with a fucking 18-year-old or even a 19-year-old. You know, if you see me with a 19-year-old, be like, but you know, but she 19, but you still gonna look at me like, but goddamn, nigga, that don't make no difference. Look how old you are. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's just gonna sit on your brain. And if I see a really old motherfucker with a 19-year-old, I'm like, he'll fuck a 17-year-old too. Them 2 years ain't gonna make that much of a difference. Now he might be in this case, yeah, on one side is legal, but if you go that close to the line, you'll cross it. So you know, I don't.
I think if you're a man of principle, you might not.
Now, I'm not talking about somebody that's 25 with a 19-year-old. That makes sense to me. But I'm like, if we're 50 and above, I'm like, you don't even want to naturally, your brain shouldn't even want you that close to the line. I can't imagine what the hell I would do with somebody. I'm at 61. I don't even want to talk to nobody under 30, 35.
No, I
anything beneath that to me is a child. So I sometimes wonder in a man's mind, we always say, just like if I told a dude that was 19 and was a 12-year-old, he would say that's a kid. And that's only 7 years. I'm like, you would look at that as a kid. Because you 20 and she's 12. Oh, that's a kid. And that's only 8 years. But now you 50 and you want to go 35 and 40 years below and still say that in your mind that's a woman. I'm like, I don't, you know, if 8 years felt so weird to you when you were in your 20s, how does it, you know, it just, some of this shit, I'm like, I'm not buying, because again, they want to go right up to the line. I'm not saying everyone would, But I'm like, that's a risky proposition. And then you be down there hollering about she gave me a fake ID. Well, motherfucker, if you wasn't trying to fuck 18-year-olds, it wouldn't matter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It wouldn't matter if you ain't trying to fuck 18-year-olds. If you trying to stay with 30-year-olds, it don't matter about no fake ID. Because they're well above the age of adulthood. And that's one thing you can take off. We already said about the risk being overseas. So why you want to risk being around close to somebody that could be underage? Even be close to that area. I don't want to be nowhere near that.
My only issue with it is like nobody had a problem when Hugh Hefner was doing it as a whole, but now it's a problem. That's my only issue with that.
Okay, well, I mean, that's fair enough, but if Hugh got away with it, Hugh got away with it. I don't think too many of our dark-skinned asses is gonna get away with it.
No.
So we got to be careful.
No, it's more scrutinized now. That it seemed like more of us are doing it, but when he was doing it, it was like accepted, like everybody, because we live. I feel like in America, we kind of live in a hypocritical society anyway. Because I was talking to somebody, I said, I used myself. I said, if I'm 40 years old and I sleep with a 17-year-old, right? And we go rob a bank and she kills somebody, now she can be charged as an adult.
Yep.
So now that's where the debate comes in. Okay, let's say, I'm not saying you, but let's say it's that person's daughter gets killed. You killed his mother in a robbery, shooting at the police, and we shot somebody's mother and killed her. Now all of a sudden her being underage doesn't matter.
Right.
Now,
I see what you're getting at.
Huh?
I see what you're getting at.
Yeah, that's why I said I get into these debates all the time. I had people cursing me out, but I said, but why is it when I'm 40 years old,
she's a minor.
17, it's a problem. Right. But we robbed the bank and she pulled the trigger. You got it on tape. I'm not the one pulling the trigger. I'm running from the police. She's turning around firing, and it's your mother that get hit. Now all of a sudden you want to charge as an adult. That's what I'm saying. Like, to me, it's got to be one way. Like, I'm an extremist. It's got to be one way. It's got to be black or white. It can't be gray.
And that's unfortunately, you know, it's not that way though.
No. I know people didn't look at it that way till I brought that. Like, when I go into these debate chats, I do that all the time. I throw a what they call a sidebar in there. I said, yeah, if you have a problem, if I'm walking down the beach in Sosu and I'm hugged up on a 17-year-old, you have a problem with it. She's a minor, but that same night we get into a shootout and we kill somebody's daughter, we kill your mother. Now all of a sudden she's an adult. Right, now you're not going to say, well, she didn't know what she was doing. She was so young. That's my issue that I have with society.
But like you said, you're an extremist, so you know that society is not going to bend. Society is going to make nuances for the things.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but why is her mindset adult when it benefits? That's what I'm saying. We live in America's a world where everybody wants to use their own narrative, their own way of thinking to fix their narrative. Just like the night when they was arguing, one guy wanted to fight, the other guy was calling him a homosexual.
Right.
So they were using two different narratives, two different things to fix their narrative. One was calling one guy gay, the other one was saying he wanted to fight. So that's what people do. We live in a world where, like I said, that 17-year-old or that 16-year-old or even 15-year-old is an adult when he pulled that trigger. But when I pull the panties down, she's a minor. So which one is it? Is she going to be an adult or is she going to be a minor? That's all I'm saying.
It depends on the circumstance. That's the way
exactly. Whatever fits. No, that's lingo for whatever fits your narrative.
Oh, well,
I have people cursing.
Right. I see what you're saying, but I'm like, I don't see where. And again, like I said, I know you're looking at it from an extremist point of view. I don't look at it that way. I guess if I did, I would have to argue in reverse that when they pull the trigger, we would still have to treat them like a minor. And I think in some states and in some cases they do. If, in every state, in every case, they're not going to treat a minor that pulls the trigger as an adult. Some they will, some they won't. It depends
No,
on
that's
the
what I'm saying.
state.
It becomes. That's why I say it becomes the gray, because
Yeah.
I've seen it where they went after 12 and 13-year-olds committed murder, intentionally or not intentionally, and they said, well, he knew what he was doing, but that same 13-year-old, if he slept with a school teacher, you'll be fighting with the teacher when he was too young. The
Right,
same person that'll tell you, the same juror that'll tell you that he should be charged as an adult will come at you and say that she was too young for you to sleep with.
Right, but I was gonna say, like you said, when you talk about the young murderer, state A may charge him as an adult, state B may still charge him as a minor. So there's not even any consistency there. Now, I think when it comes to the Sex Act, almost universally across the board, almost every state has a consistent measure when it comes to the age of consent, which really, when you say age of consent, we're revolving that almost exclusively around sex, pretty much nothing else. Then all the other stuff, the different states will they'll decide which way and how they want things to go. But when it comes to sex, yeah, there seems to be universal, where then they want to do the age of consent. And I think there are some variables in some states there, but mostly any state will say under 18, they're going to want to classify as a minor. If nothing else, just to lock your ass up for it.
Yes, I said, you pull her panties down, she's a minor, but if she pulls the trigger, she's an adult. He or she. That's the part that gets under my skin. Like, that same person will convict you for sleeping with a minor, but will convict a minor for killing your mother, not you personally, but in general, killing your mother or your daughter in the shooting out with the cops and inadvertently hitting your kid. Now you want to charge her as an adult. Now her age don't matter.
Yeah.
That's what I have. Like, I'm consistent with the way I think, and that's the problem that I have with American society. You want to bend change the narrative when it benefits you. Or like if you kill a cop, it's murder. A cop kill you is manslaughter. Yeah. Why is my life worth less than his? If he kills me, and I'm not, and if he kills me because he thought I did something that I didn't do, it's still manslaughter. I kill him, it's murder.
Yeah, should be.
No, I don't know if it should be. It should be both. It should be equal both ways. It should be if I'm charged with murder for killing him, and then he killed me and I'm innocent, why isn't it murder back that way?
Right. Both lives are lost.
Exactly.
So I definitely understand that.
Yeah, I get into these debates all the time. Somebody had called me anti-cop. I said, no, if a cop kills you and you innocent, like that cop that killed that lady for the hot water thing,
yeah,
he only got 20 years. If she would have killed him, they would have been trying to give her life.
That's true.
Yeah, it's hypocritical.
But look, we're gonna have to pick this up.
But let's go. Yeah, let's call it a night. Yeah, listen, man. It's good talking to you, man. We'll talk again.
Definitely. I definitely enjoyed it. That's why I didn't want to go anywhere, and I was hoping that Mariah was gonna come back. But we'll definitely chop it up again on the next one.
All right, peace.
All right, have a good night, sir.
All right.